Okay, hello everyone, and you are now joining us on this SlipStream Live, powered by Alpha Live Productions, of course, on the members-only part of our day. You are joining myself, Kiel Lynch, and Henry Baudette now back in the commentary box.
Woo! Yes!
And we are getting going with the finals. To begin, we have the Junior Rotax B final.
So, we had 47 Junior Rotax drivers enter. That has got to be whittled down to 36, I believe. Not quite sure if it's 34 or 36. The circuit can hold 36 carts, so one would assume that we would maximise that. And the pole sitter has just gone for a spin. That, I don't Adam and Eve it. Who was that? The black and red cart. It was number 52?
That is
number
an
52,
absolute
Joseph
nightmare.
Berkery. Well, Joseph Berkery, that was a bit of a Berkery move, I've got to say.
Here we go. But your pole sitter, speaking of, joining him on the front row of the grid was Oscar Dolinetek. On the second row is Lily Shaw and Ralph Rakaitis. On the third row, Alexander Levusky and Joshua Robinson. Jacob Underhill and Jacob Gaunt are next.
You know, when I said you lead this, I saw the names and thought, right, let's give us a hard.
yeah.
Well, then
yeah,
again, no,
did.
you've done. The pronunciations are getting there as well. Hello to Mrs. Kleinfelter. Is that right? Your new friend, Mrs. Kleinfelter?
Oh my gosh, if anyone joined us, well, enough of that. Anyway, we are underway.
No, we're not.
Oh, no, we are not.
No.
More time to talk about that.
Well, considering the driver on the outside the front row was facing the wall when they crossed the line, I'm not surprised. So with Mr. Berkery, now let's see where Mr. Berkery ends up. Is he back in the... Yes, he is back at the head of the field in his rightful position.
Yes,
it's
he
the
is.
driver on the outside of row number 1 who was broadsided, a little bit of pushing and shoving. It was possibly the very luminous green and yellow cart of number 49. That would make sense. Joshua Robinson, I think. Let's have a quick glance. Oh, I haven't got the grid in front of me. Never mind.
I do, but I cannot find
Oh dear.
him just yet.
Hang on a second. We're going to need to bring in the technical department because the PIN number of the Alpha Live laptop that shows us your comments so we can introduce and interact with you.
Henry, the live chat has been missing you today.
No, well, I'm sorry to disappoint you all, but I'm back. It's even bigger disappointment. Gil Lynch, let's bring him to the line.
But here we go. We do have some stragglers, but here we go. We are underway with the Junior Rotax B final of today. We've got someone with grassroots over just after turn 1, but they make it onto track.
Oh my goodness me!
Everyone nearly through, all clear, but no, there is a cart the wrong way around, just under the bridge. Are they going to be able to bring it back onto circuit? Hopefully they are, but there was your pole sitter, able to put himself in first. However, he has just slowed down massively on that lap, and now who is that? That is cart number 34 now in the lead. He is indicating, your pole sitter is indicating to work together now while this grid is all bunched up together for the initial part of the lap. We've got 7 minutes plus a lap to go of this B final.
Now, if you're noticing that you haven't got the live time and scoring pylon on the left-hand side of the screen, that's because we unfortunately believe that live timing is dead. It's not live. It's unlive. It's been unalived. It is not functioning.
Oh,
so there
however,
it
has rejoined.
It's I've still got Spencer Allen at the top of my timing and scoring sheet, so that can't be right because that was the last heat before lunch.
But you have it on your screen, and that is Jacob Underhill, that is leading. 3/10 ahead of Berkery, Robinson, and Oscar Dolinetek. Right, here we go. Into the second hairpin, they will go. Jacob Underhill leads, but that is Joseph Berkery. Is that Joseph Berkery? Yes.
Yes, it is.
In that second place, that was your pole sitter, I believe.
Yes. Oscar
Into sector 3 they go.
Dolinich, I believe it is. It's a surname from Eastern Europe, and the letter, I think it's Dolinich, possibly. Well, we'll soon find out. But good scrapping at the front of the field. The number 34, Jack Deck's racing car of Jacob Underhill, had a massive moment going into the Mike Wilson complex and almost binned it.
Oh, and is there going to be a change to the race lead? Sorry, Henry, but I think there is. Yes, that will be. Who is that? We'll wait to see them come around. That is Underhill who takes the race lead. But kart number 244 is the fastest on track. There you go. Underhill leads, but there is another change for second position. Who is that? That will be kart number 244. The fastest car on track right now, up into second. Jacob Underhill now down to third as they head through the S's. There are some battles also going on further down the pack. There you can see some of them. Through the final sector, there you go.
I was trying to do a thing, Kyo, and try and reimagine and resuscitate the live timing, but apparently she's too far gone. Not even Des.
She has left
in
the
timing
chat
and
for the remainder
can
of
revive
this final.
R.I.P. live timing.
There you go, your fastest driver on track is Jacob Underhill. Your leader right now, car number 34, heading around the bank, and that is Joseph Bakery and car number 244 right behind.
So it's a B final. It's a B final. Let's talk about the bubble. We believe that 6 drivers go through. I will get confirmation on that. Top 6 go through. Okay, that's good enough for me. Someone waved at me, so I'm assuming that was correct. I will go and ask. So let's have a look. Who's on the bubble? It is Oscar Dolanich, the number 61 Coles Racing kart, who has had, well, he was 16th in last year's Minimax Championship. There is Oscar in the number 61 Coles Racing kart. He is the last driver currently in, chasing Lily Shaw, who's also in, Joshua Robinson, who's also in, and Alexander Lesnitsky, Joseph Berkery, and Jacob Underhill, of course, your leader. The first driver on the outside looking in is Odysseus Hole.
However, Cash Harris, the next one after that, down in P8, has just passed Jacob Gaunt, car number 26648. Cash Harris is on the hunt to make it to that final, shall we say. Your leader into hairpin 1, there you go, leads Berkery and car number 244. Into hairpin 2 they will go. Do we have a change at the back? Yes, we do. We have some battles at the back that you can see on your screen heading into hairpin 1, but no changes for those positions either just yet. Down to the final sector they will go. If we have a look at, we won't have a look at live timing because it is not working, but your fastest driver on track as of right now is Joseph Berkery, who is just under just under half a second behind your race leader.
Now, do you recall just a few minutes ago where I was waxing lyrical about the top 6 going through to the main event? Well, it turns out I was talking at a cobbler's. It's the top 4. So Lily Shaw is on the bubble in kart number 78.
Lily Shaw has just promoted herself there, as before when we saw her, she was in that 6th position. Odie Hole, another one who has promoted themselves to that 6th place, but still have some work to do. Here is the move for second position then. Kart number 52, Joseph Bakery, goes straight, or kart number 244, straight down the inside and throws, we have an arm up in the air, but down up into second they are.
I have been utterly triggered. Kyo, you will learn this as you journey through this wonderfully frustrating sport, is that why are you battling for position if you're in the transfer spots in a B final? The only thing can change is whether you start the main event 33rd, 34th, 35th or 36th.
You're right, Henry. There is still 2 minutes to go plus a lap of this
don't
race.
Battle. You're in. Look at the gap. Look at the big arching, aching, cavernous gap. Back to Lily Shaw, who will come around. There she is. She's got 2. Odysseus Hole. Dave Edwards Racing and Cash Harris. Let's have a look. Cash, what number is Cash? Number 87. No, he's not. My eyesight's going as well. Age, ladies and gentlemen. It gets you at the end.
Car number 187. Close
187, that's why.
There you go.
There we go. Young eyes. Oh. Strawberry Racing, Cash Harris. So Dave Edwards Racing and Strawberry Racing chasing, hunting, trying to usurp Lily Shaw from the final transfer spot. 1 minute to go.
1 minute to go, Henry, and they are heading through the final sector. Like you said, those two cars have 1 minute plus a lap to chase Lily Shaw for that final spot in the final. We have live timing once again. There is your leader heading through turn 1, followed by Mercury and car number 244, who is still the fastest on track right now. Lily Shaw, Odie Hall now promoted up to 5th place, right behind.
Behold live timing. It has risen from the dead. Greatest comeback since Lazarus. Well, it is Easter coming up soon, so it does fit. But live timing is back, and we can tell you that this is lap number 8, and the gap between Lily Shaw and Joshua Robinson, who has now moved into 5th position, passing both Cash Harris and Josh's own teammates for the Dave Edwards Racing
pretty
team.
Close, Henry. Through the S they go. Can these 2 carts catch Lily Shaw for that 1 spot? There is 3 carts battling here, and there is 1 spot in that final. Can they get it done? We will see.
Here we go. That's a privateer entry. Lily Shaw, 16th in the B final here at the Winter Warmer Trophy. This is the final lap to get into the main event. Can Lily Shaw do it? 2 teammates who will work together if they get the opportunity. Look.
Is she going to give him the opportunity? Up the hill they go. Lily Shaw still in front, making her way over the bridge. Down the hill she goes, and she will be taking a slight look behind her to see those both teammates right there. She has not got a second to relax in this lap as both teammates break late into that first hairpin, but Lily Shaw comes out first place still.
She missed the apex though, Keel. She missed the apex.
She did. She takes a slight look. Is she going to get a better run out of this corner? And she does. She pulls that gap ever so slightly on the 2 teammates behind. Your fastest driver on track is still Joseph Mercury, who has, as of now, secured that spot into the final.
I've got to say, that is very, very impressive from Lily Shaw. What have you noticed that she hasn't done? As Jacob Underhill comes across the line, Lily Shaw has not looked behind her. She was so focused.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, what helped her take the final provisional transfer position.
Well, there you go then. Thank you, Henry. That will be Jacob Underhill making his way, the first driver to make his way through to the final. Joseph Mercury, who was actually the fastest on track in this B final, car number 52, and Alexander Lewuski, who car number 244, who will make his way up ahead of Lily Shaw, and they will be the 4 that promote themselves to the final.
That's quite, nice. Look at that. Jack Dex Racing, Coles Racing, Dave Edwards Racing, and 1 for the privateers.
Yes.
All making it into the main event. At the expense, sadly, of Joshua Robinson, Odysseus Hull, Cash Harris, Ralph Rakaitis, Oscar Dolinich, and Jacob Gaunt. At least everyone finished and got all their laps in. Value for money.
That, Henry.
Value for money, which is what SlipStream, powered by Alpha Live, is every month. So we can bring you new, innovative, interesting, maybe even humorous karting content to see you through the long, arduous British summer.
Absolutely, that was a nice, clean race for us. But up next, who do we have? We have got the Senior Rotax B final. Okay, green flag is waving, and our Senior Rotax are going to join us on the track very soon. There you can see them lining up. I mean, we have had a very good few heats from them today. It has been impressive racing, but let's take a look at your grid. Joshua Smith and Drew Preisner on the front row of this grid. Joe Gethin and Kai Newman, Willow McCleaver and Ruben Kernahan, Ollie Miller and Kyanan Eastick round out the top 8 for this B final. Leo Steed and Molly Griffiths are next, a driver who we saw in last weekend. Hopefully she will make it through this weekend. Priam Lelang and Jacob Morris. Dan Renton, Victor Hansen and Sean Cheng round out your top 15 for this beam final. Like I was saying, Henry, Molly Griffiths, the driver who we did see last weekend, she had a bit of an unlucky run in those heats, so she wasn't able to make it through to the final. She just got pipped by a driver who is at Champions of the Future, Emma Dowling.
Yes,
the
and
Formula One supported
doing
Academy driver.
Very well indeed. I want to say a big hello to Kyle Lawrence, my colleague, my co-commentator at the Rotax Grand Finals, because Kyle has worked quite closely with that family over the years, and Emma Dowling, her brother, Bradley Cooper Dowling represented South Africa in the last year's Rotax Grand Finals. 15 drivers, 4 positions, 8 minutes plus 1 lap to decide who goes through to the main event.
Well, we will find out, Henry, as we are officially underway. How is your pole sitter going to do? And your pole sitter goes out turn 1, out into
sorry,
first.
look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6. Somehow we just avoided complete and utter catastrophe. 6 drivers, all getting, well, nearly all, all 6 getting back into the race. Incredible.
You're right, Henry. That was a lucky run then, as you see that final car. Is he going to make it out of the grass? Not too sure just yet, but your pole sitter leads, followed by that car number 91 and car number 28. That is your top 3.
So Bomber Smith leads. We saw Drew Preisner retire from his last heat race. So that's why he is down there. There he is in second place.
Kai Newman is now up there in third.
Yeah, because it was a gap. It was about 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th on the grid that triggered that incident, with one kart spinning and then the 2 drivers directly behind that first kart slamming on the brakes and getting sideways because the kart is under tremendous load at this point of the circuit, and then everybody scattering behind. 3 drivers somehow managed to avoid clattering into each other at a great speed.
Well, speak of the devil, Henry, there is that car number 374 who was on the grass, who has made it out. That is the final driver, so we will not have any retirements so far. Out up front then is Joshua Smith being hunted down right now by Drew Preisner, that car 91 car, and he's going to go down the inside at hairpin 2 to take the race lead. Kai Newman and Ruben Kinahan rounds out your top 4 right now. They are making it through, but I believe that was a change for 4th place. I think that was Joe Gethin just making his way past at round.
Yes, so of the 15 drivers that are in this race, 9 of them escaped the first couple of corners without incident. Unfortunately, Leo Steed has, Leo Steed is out there, he's a long way back. Molly Griffiths, Dan Renton, Jacob Morris, Priam Lalang and Sean Cheng all getting involved. They're all still running, but some of the moves, Joe Gethin and Kai Newman especially, were spectacular in their reaction times.
Absolutely.
Willow McIver is 9th, so that's good for young Willow. Another private, no, she's with Hunter Motorsports.
We also have a change for the race lead, Henry. Drew Preisner now leads, and there was also a change for 3rd position. Now that the fastest car that is currently on track, Victor Hansen, is promoted himself up to that 3rd place. Now, like you said, Henry, in the first B final we've had today, do these karts want to battle this soon on? Because they are going to be bringing all these drivers into contention, the likes of Ollie Miller down in 7th. These are drivers that will all be able to contend for those 4 spots if your front runners start battling this soon on.
That's a very, very good point and very, very well made. I think there's got to be some sort of, establishing of the running order, but then you would think with drivers as experienced as Joshua Smith and Victor Hansen on a national level, that they would, as they go 3 wide coming off the bridge, curse the commentator, or just commentator hasn't got a Scooby-Doo what he's on about. Or rather, the drivers don't know what they're on about, because I think man occasionally, just occasionally, speaks and spits gospel. And not battling for the race lead or any of the transfer positions in a B final is, praise the Lord, gospel.
And it might have been another curse for the commentators over here. Henry, I'm going to blame myself for that one. Molly Griffiths, another poor start for her in another B final. She is down now to 14th. Could she have been a driver who was involved in that contact and the grassroots in the initial stages of the race? I think it could be. But Kai Newman, your new fastest lap of the race, at just 9/10 behind that leader, but promoting himself to the final as of right now.
Now, I was just noticing, yes, you're right, Molly Griffiths was one of the drivers involved. Here we go then. The 4 drivers are all side by side that are currently in the transfer spots.
And there is a new 3rd position, that is car number 28, Kai Newman, who we were just speaking of, the fastest car out on track. Now up into 3rd, but it is going to be about a 4 car lead. battle for the lead. But no, I think Drew Preisner still comes out in first as of right now, followed by Victor Hansen.
No, Victor Hansen's got the lead. Victor Hansen, for the Zip Factory team, has made the move.
Spoke too soon.
And leads this race. Well, that's the reverse of the curse of the commentator.
So you are welcome, Victor Hansen.
Joshua Smith, Bomber Smith, in that luminous yellow, Andrew Mather, look away, and blue machine, he has dropped from the lead down to 5th position. So at the moment, Joshua Smith is not in the main event. He's looking to the inside on the number 91 kart of Drew Preisner. Preisner in the black kart with the plain white crash helmet is on the bubble. What will Smith do? Because Smith has got Ollie Miller and Joe Gethin for company.
I mean, you are right, Henry. Heading into the hairpin 2 now, and there are 7 karts here, but 4 spots going into this final. So far, it's Victor Hansen, Newman, Preisner, and Ruben Kiernahan. Is it going to stay like that? We have 2 minutes and 25 seconds left of this race as your drivers go through the 3rd sector. And your man that is fastest is car number 28, Kai Newman. Approaching the final 4 corners now then, and there has been no change in that top 7 just yet. But we will see what happens as we are on to another lap. Your first few drivers approach the main straight and round 1 and 5-1. And there has been a change for 4th place. That is Drew Preisner promoted down, no longer into the final. It's Joshua Smith now, bringing himself into that contention, and now on that spot that is going to get into the final. Ooh, but it is getting close at the front here.
Now, you have to think to yourself, Joshua Smith, did that move work? And I say work, obviously, in one sense it worked because he made the pass and he's now up to P4. However, it didn't work because the top 3 have now got a 10-15 kart length advantage over Smith, and Smith has got 3 drivers directly behind him, all of whom have a legitimate chance to take the final transfer spot away from Bomber Smith, who got the nickname because he left a suitcase unattended in the paddock at Bayford Meadows once, and it looked like it was unattended and someone thought it was a bomb, and they called the bomb squad. So he's known as Bomber Smith for that.
But you are right, Henry. Is that a risky position to put yourself in? Now you are first in the firing line and the easiest to get.
And it's almost as though Victor Hansen and Kai Newman have noticed the battling behind them, because they have just started to finally work together. Look what happens, boys and girls, when you play nice, when you work together, your gap to the people behind you groweth. It groweth, and you maketh the main eventeth.
They can see that car number 420 right behind them, who is managing to rein them in, to be fair, these 2 drivers that are still working together. We've got 26 seconds plus a lap. It is still all to play for that last spot, those last few spots in the final.
Now, coming out to the Mike Wilson complex, check the clock. Yeah, they're going to get 2 more laps in. Here comes Victor Hansen. Hansen with the Ultimate R kart of Kai Newman behind him. Now, that is that a new team. Is that Liam? Oh, he's gonna kill me because I've forgotten his surname. Last year, Josh Smith, he retired from karting at the start of 2025. Got a call from GWR, George Whitbread Racing, to come back. At least George Whitbread Racing, yes. And he did halfway through the season, but it looks as though he has changed teams, and he is still unretired, but now unretired with different colours.
Well, Henry, if we take a look back at our front pack, there is actually a slight gap going on there. This is the penultimate lap of the race, and the drivers are going through the last sector now, and the first few have pulled a bit of a gap. This means all 4 drivers have a spot in the final. Are they going to play it safe now for the last lap of the race? We are about to see. As they cross the line once again into turn 1, your drivers who are promoting themselves so far, Hansen, Newman, Kiernahan and Smith, are they going to keep it that way and stay clever? All 4 drivers currently have a place. Are they going to battle for those positions in the final, or are they going to play it safe heading into hairpin 1 they go? No changes just yet. Each driver knows where they're headed.
Now, I've got to make a public service announcement and an apology to Liam Aitken, because of course it's Liam Aitken Racing that Joshua Smith drives for in the luminous yellow and blue livery. Well, there's no chance of you ever mistaking that kart for any of the other teams. Here we go, half a lap, and finally it looks like it's settled down to the point where there's no last turn drama in a B final. Just how it should be.
You are right, Henry. There is your leader heading out the final few corners, and it is going to be Victor Hansen wins the Senior Rotax B final, promoting himself to the final.
Yep.
Kai Newman, Ruben Kinahan, and Joshua Smith.
Did you know that since Joshua Smith started that race, Andrew Mather has ordered 75 replica go-karts, all in Joshua Smith's livery, because we all know Andrew Mather loves luminous yellow. Not. Go and watch Bump Draft and listen to Unpopular Opinion. Andrew Mather, our esteemed colleague, does not like luminous yellow. Well, I think it stands out, and that's good. What a shame for Drew Preisner, Ollie Miller, Joe Gethin, Priam Lalang, Kyan Eastick, Willow McIver, Jacob Morris, Sean Cheng, Molly Griffiths, Dan Renton, and Leo Steed. But when you consider what could have happened on the opening lap,
Absolutely.
the fact that we had all 15 starters running at the finish is, quite frankly, remarkable. It's a bit blustery, isn't it? Somewhat blusterous, as you can see the flags.
I mean, look at the flags off in the distance. You can hear the wind through each camera today.
Well, yes, I was going to say, apologies.
That is not our breath.
No, and it's not tinnitus either, which was Piers Pryor's unpopular opinion. Earplugs in karting? Should all drivers be made to wear earplugs in karting until they're an adult? That's what Piers Pryor thinks.
I think that's a pretty good point.
Well,
right, okay, Henry, and now we are on to the main events, the beginning of the finals. Let's go.
hey, this is good. Main events, good.
All right, here we go. We have the Micromax final up next. I mean, we have seen nothing but moves for the race lead from Micromax today. Throughout each heat, there has not been one corner that they have gone by that there has not been a switch in positions. These youngest drivers they are the youngest that we have out today, but they are not disappointing, as our track is green and we will see them entering the circuit soon for the final time today, and we will see who is going to come out champion of the Challenge Cup here at PFI.
Of course, the reason why we don't have Water Swift restricted is because most of the drivers are at Silverstone for the FIA Champions of the Future Academy programme. Here's your starting lineup.
Arlo Gamble and Arthur Bowers are on the front row together going head-to-head. Ronnie Allen and Caden Hanley are on row 2. Felix Tandy, a driver who we saw have not the best luck in the heats, but he has the opportunity to make it up next to Kyra Vieira on the 3rd row. Elliot Hitch and Harry Riley are next.
Now, Ronnie Allen, second in last year's Trent Valley Kart Club Championship. Rio Pocock, Bobby Slater, Kai Suri and Caden Hakura rounding out the 12-driver field. Interesting little notes, obviously Bobby Slater, the younger brother of Alfie and Freddie Slater, and Felix Tandy, the son of Le Mans 24-hour winner and factory Porsche driver.
He is
Nick
also
Tandy.
a part of the Weir Alliance Academy and obviously Super
Yes.
1 champ. Oh, we do
don't
have
you-
someone.
Well, did you just swear and say the S word? Super one. In the kart championship, the Might E Bambino British Championship last year, which was run as part of the kart championship, Felix Tandy came second in the British Might E Bambino Championship. And he did win the round here at PFI
Yes,
with
he
Felix
did.
Tandy when the kart championship visited last July.
We did have a kart facing the wrong way there at hairpin 1, but I think they have managed to catch up the rest of the pack just before the final starts. Yes, I think they have.
Just do a quick head count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yes, all 12 are here, like little ducklings in a row, to the line.
Okay, and here we go. It's the first final of the day.
No, it's not. It's the
No,
second.
it isn't.
It's the second rolling lap of this final.
More time to chat, Henry.
Well, yes. Looking down the order. So, Caden Hakura was 5th in the Winter Warmer Trophy, but that was 5th in Water Swift Restricted. Harry Riley was 5th in this class, and that is the highest finisher from the Winter Warmer Trophy in Micromax that has returned for the PFI Challenge Cup. A lot of these drivers were out in action last weekend with you and Mikio at
Yes,
Wilton
they were.
Mill for the opening round of the Wilton Mill Kart Club Championship. Caden Hanley was third last weekend, Harry Riley fourth.
Rio Pocock was 11th, but managed to come up the grid in the final as he started pretty low down. Kai Suri, on the other hand, did have a disqualification, so any result for him will be a step up from what he had last weekend.
Okay, you know what my thoughts on making predictions and things like that, because we're commentators, we have to be unbiased and just narrate and tell the story. However, I feel Rio Pocock is going to get his best result of the season.
Do you?
Because he finished 11th in the Icebreaker Cup, 11th at Wilton Mill for the opening round of the club championship. He's going to break that today.
Well, Henry, we will see, and here we go. No, we will not go. We will go round again.
I can't spell atrocious, but that was A-T-ro-cious.
Is that how you spell it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
A-T-ro-cious.
Close enough.
Something like that. It wasn't very good. It was too fast, and the karts were out of the tram lines, and they're going to get one more stab at this before we have potentially our first game of Shut Up and Listen, which is where the race director, Mr. Nigel Edwards, invites the top two drivers.
Which you can see it being
audience.
signalled there for the Mini Micromax to slow down.
Yes. Slow down. There. Slow down. Behave
Exactly
yourselves.
what you
Have
said,
a
Henry.
word. Right, Arlo Gamble, Sam Pollitt Racing, KR Sport, Arthur Bowers, then Dan Holland Racing, and Richardson Chassis Engineering, who took the British title last year on the last lap of the final here at PFI with Dian Singh Pahal.
There you go. They have been signalled to slow down multiple times on this lap. We will hope that they listen, and this will hopefully be the official start for the Micromax. And it is. Your pole sitter leads into turn one. Oh, we have one car over the grass, but everyone manages to avoid, and they rejoin the track swiftly. Round the bank they go and over the bridge.
It's not swiftly, it's Rotax. Boom, boom, here all day. Quite literally. Well, no, that's a lie.
I was using it in the term, in the movement term, Henry. Anyway, down into hairpin one they will go. Is there going to be a change for the race lead? And yes, there is. That will be Arthur Bowers, I believe, will it?
Look at that, 5th and 6th
Yes.
places. The two Ayrton Senna replica crash helmets. Senna died 34 years ago. These kids are 8. And yet still, 2 out of a grid of 12 have got Senna replica helmets. It's astounding.
If anyone joined us over at Wilton Mill, you will know how much Henry loves to see these Senna helmets, and he will keep mentioning it throughout the race. But Arthur Bowers promoted up into first. Archie Gamble and Ronnie Allen lead you into the final sector of this first lap. Out the final corner they will go. Lap 1 down. 8 minutes and 52 seconds plus a lap left. And it will be no change for the race lead just yet. Your top 4 pulling an ever so slightly gap. There was a driver heading down slightly.
No, they named this the bowl. It looks like a bank to me, but hey, each their own. So they come out of the bowl, through turn 3, over the Litchfield Bridge, and then through turn 4, down this long, long hill into hairpin number 1. And Arthur Bowers in the number 99 kart, who did a little bit of racing over in the UAE over the winter months and was very, very impressive, is now leading the charge for a new team, KR Sport, Caden Hanley. So that chassis in second place. No, I think it's Arlo Gamble has retaken second position. Caden Hanley is third on the RCE kart, the only British-built kart in this class, in fact pretty much in the British Championship. Sad to say, there are a couple of others, but RCE winning the British Championship last year. They went to the Rotax Winter Trophy and won all 4 rounds of it. So that kart built in Coventry is undefeated.
Side by side around the ball, that is a new leader, which I believe is now Arlo Gamble.
No, it's the RCE kart. See, Caden was listening to me.
That was a
Finally,
good curve.
someone was listening to me. He said, oh, Henry's waxing lyrical about me in the wagon. The wagon is fast. Let me prove it to the viewers. Live on SlipStream.
That is now also Felix Tandy, the Weratools kart, now promoted himself up into third. Down hairpin, round hairpin 2, they will go. This is your few carts at the front, followed by that cart of, I believe now, Ronnie Allen, who is just behind in that 5th position. Is it Ronnie Allen?
Yeah, it's the number 2 cart. Well, not the number 2 cart, sorry, the number 57 cart, who was, of course, second in the championship here last year. He has got, let's see, he's got 1.2 seconds to make up. Now, this is incredible. The Micromax drivers are doing it proper, like, innit? That's, oh, as he says that, of course. Oh, dear. Well, it's good fun to watch. They will all absolutely kick themselves if one of those 4 drivers leading, Hanley, Gamble, Tandy or Bowers, does not make the main event, and Ronnie Allen does. Because Ronnie Allen's got no right to be that close to the lead group in clean air without the aid of a slipstream, and it's all because these 4 were squabbling.
Did you say make the main event, Henry? This is the main event.
Of course it's the main event.
This will be the main event. This is the Micromax final.
I had B finals on the brain, because it seems to be most of the races I've actually been here for have been B finals.
Well, speaking of that, Arlo Gamble decides to remind you as he takes the race lead once again ahead of Caden Hanley. Arlo Gamble leads Caden Hanley, Felix Tandy and Arthur Bowers now into Sector 3.
We have got still 5.5 minutes to go. An awful lot's can happen. Ronnie Allen has caught the top 4. It's now 5 at the front for 4 transfers
Hold on a second.
races.
Is that the Wirral Tools cart now at the front of the grid? Well, it was, but no. That is the car number 99, Arthur Bowers, taking the lead once again. Side by side, they go through the bowl, but that is going to be the leader. Arthur Bowers wheel banging through the bowl, but no, he will make it out. Now that Felix Tandy, the Wirral Tools cart, back into 3rd position. Is that 3rd? No, that is possibly even 4th now, but all regulate, and there you go, Felix Tandy, speaking of him, goes straight back in on that car number 72, I think, and takes 3rd position back. Round hairpin 2, they will go. No change, no further change just yet, but here we go. This 5-cart battle is pretty crazy, and we have 4. We have nearly just under 5 minutes left to go. Ronnie Allen is your fastest car on the track as they go through Sector 3.
Now, can Ronnie Allen translate that raw pace into a couple of nice, tidy parsy-parsies, which will get him not into the main event, it will get him onto the podium. Sorry.
Yes, Henry, this is the main event.
Yeah,
Henry is thrown off.
Arthur Bowers nearly exited the main event. He looked over his shoulder and just dragged his left front wheel onto the grass. Here comes Felix Tandy, who won here in the Mighty Bambino class at last year's round of the kart championship on the same day that his dad, Nick, was racing at the Le Mans 24 Hours. So we had the Le Mans 24 Hours on the big screen. Mrs. Tandy was a nervous wreck. Felix got everything in his stride. Ooh. And Felix is driving for the RCE team. So it's an RCE kart, but he's obviously got his own sponsor graphics kit as he's part of the Vera Tools Academy.
Like I said, Henry, through the S's they go. Felix Tandy now leads, but it doesn't look like that might be for long as the 4 carts behind are all working together. One by one, they head round the final sector, and we will see who comes out of this another lap. We've still got 3.5 minutes to go, plus a lap. Felix Tandy still leads, pulling himself a little bit of a gap. We will see once he comes out of the final corner, down the main straight, he goes. We will see how much of a gap he has managed to maintain. Nearly nothing. It is 0.08 of a second as they head up towards the bowl. Are they going to be sideways once again into the bowl? And yes, that is Felix Tandy now down into 3rd position. That is Arlo Gamble and Caden Hanley who have made their way through.
Now, Ronnie Allen sets to work, passes Tandy for P3. RCE, Sam Pollitt Racing, 1, 2, and Tandy is back to 5th all of a sudden. He went from 4th to 3rd to 5th in the space of 1 straight. That's Micromax Racing for you.
Well, Henry, let's take a quick look back down the grid. Car number 81 of Harry Riley, the 8-year-old, one of the youngest on this grid, I believe. He was up there into 5th position, 5th or 6th. However, he has now dropped down again to where he started, which is 8th. He's got 2.5 minutes to work on catching that car of Caio Vieira and Rio Peacock, who you made a prediction about Rio earlier on in this race. Is he meeting that prediction so far?
I believe he is, yes. Rio did have a 5th place at the Winter Open Cup at Wilton Mill, and he was 9th in the UKC RMC Winter Trophy. But here at PFI, it's been straight 11th place for the last 2 club meetings, both here and at Wilton Mill for Pocock, who, for Origin Motorsport, he's not far, but in fact, Rio Pocock is the first of the 2 Ayrton Senna replica crash helmets. The next kart's catching this group. Now, 90 seconds ago, is that enough time for Pocock and I believe Kyle Vieira, who is tracking that? Yep, the 2 of them are together, the 66 and the 118.
We also did have a change for that 2nd position. That is now Ronnie Allen, who is the fastest on track, that car number 57. He is now right behind that leader of Arlo Gamble as they go round the final sector. And then Caden Hanley is now into 3rd. Arthur Bowers and Felix Tanley round out your top 5. Felix Tanley dropping down a bit now. Those 4 have gained a considerable gap on him. Are we going to have side by side into turn 1? That is a new race leader. That is car number 57. Ronnie Allen, your fastest driver on track. Arlo Gamble now demoted down into 2nd position as they go round the bowl. No change for that just yet. These 4 karts still bumper on bumper, but it's going to be 3. Is it going to be 3 wide, Henry? It's going to be 3 wide. Who's going to come out first? It is going to be the car number 99, I think. Yes, it is. Car number 99 of Arthur Bowers. And this has brought Felix Tandy straight back into contention, who is right on the back now. Is he going to go down the inside of that car number 57 with Ronnie Allen, who was in 2nd? No, he slots himself right back in behind, heading into sector 3.
Somebody needs to go to Dan Holland Racing and say they have to order a new race suit for Ronnie Allen, because coming off the bridge, Allen on the grass blocks was absolutely sideways, and he saved it and didn't lose a position. He probably lost a bit of weight as he emptied a certain part of his body in what we call a code brown situation.
But we have some defensive lines from your man in P2. That is Arthur Bowers heading up the bowl. Are they going to be side by side again? We will see. I think they were ever so slightly. Caden Hanley leads.
Now, Elliot Hitch, Bobby Slater, Caden Akura, Kai Sori, and Harry Riley. They're out of the battle for the podium, because this could, the top 5, who are going to be joined at some point by Pocock and Vieira, well, 2.2 seconds, I think. Oh, it's a final lap. I have taught, once again, ladies and gentlemen, I amaze myself with my ability to talk utter tripe. Utter tripe, Henry.
And Henry, right at the last second, that car number 72, again, Arlo Gamble gets himself back up into that 2nd position. Is he going to make this stick for the last few corners? I believe he will. It looks like Caden Hanley possibly has this one.
Great move.
A little further down the pack. Ronnie Allen promoting himself right at the last second, up into 3rd, I believe. But the checkered flag is out, and that will be Caden Hanley, car number 69, to win the Micromax final. Arlo Gamble right at the last second takes the 2nd, and Ronnie Allen with your fastest lap will take 3rd. Arthur Bowers and Felix Tandy had a bit of an unlucky run today throughout, but tried to make his way back up during those heats and the final. We'll round out your top 5.
Well, Ronnie Allen can thank Arthur Bowers and Felix Tandy for his podium. Not only was that a really good move, and down at the Mike Wilson complex, it's rare that drivers pull off that move as cleanly as that. So great move. And second, he wouldn't have been there if the top 4 hadn't have battled in true B finals fashion in the first half of the race, when we were all fooled. It wasn't just me, honest.
And Henry, Rio Pocock, he did.
He did, yes. 6th position. Yeah. He has broken the hoodoo of P11.
He will be thanking you for that one. A good commentator's curse today.
Yeah, reverse the curse. Now, the wind has really picked up. So I was looking at the lap times, and the lap record in Micromax is a 103.93 seconds, set by Charlie Page. And the best lap of that race was 106.2. So the track is not fast, the wind is up, and we've got another race coming right up.
All right, and it is time for the Minimax final. Final, Henry? Yeah,
Final.
you with us?
There's no B in it, is there?
Fabulous. Nope,
No-
just
no B,
final.
just
this
final.
is the main event, so no drivers will be battling or no places to go through to anything.
So
Right.
I'm like, honey to the bee. Yeah, you know me. Who was that?
Out with the rhymes he goes. But here are our Minimax grid on to the track for the final time today. Heading out, it looks very windy out there. The conditions are looking ever so slightly questionable. Is there a few spots of rain, Henry?
Well, there
I'm
was
not too
a
sure.
blodge of rain on the camera up at Bobby Game Corner on the last lap. Yes, there's a few little spots.
there is.
They're more spits than spots. Here
So
we go.
could that make it more interesting
Oh,
for
yes.
our drivers?
Oh,
Let's
yes.
look at the grid. Maximilian Abarat, who, Henry, I don't think you've seen. He has been phenomenal today, driving his way up to the front of the grid no matter what. Joining him is Otis Cleary, Jackson Hilton, Evan Miller, who has had a bit of an unlucky run today so far, Sebastian Behrman, Eddie Duncan, Dian Singh Pahal, and Seren Gallagher.
What do you mean I haven't seen? I've been here.
Oh, sorry,
I
yeah.
see everything.
Go on,
I've
then.
seen Buddy Hugo qualify P9 for the main event.
Did
Rudra
you?
Golkunath, Lewis Herbertson, Alfie Phillipson, Thomas Laidler, and Harris Barber, your top 7 rows. Flynn Grantham and George Simmons on row number 8. But, I think that the driver starting 18th, Logan Rolfe, is one to watch. Especially when you consider that Logan, as you look at the rest of a very, very strong 35 driver field, 34 driver field. We did lose one, didn't we? Now, let me think. What did I see? Who was that we lost? I can't quite. Oh, it'll come to me. It'll come to me.
Really, Henry?
Yeah,
This
just
isn't your
the old-
first time seeing
the
these
old-
drivers
the
out on
old-
track, is it?
No. I know them all very, very well.
Yeah. Right, okay. And they will slowly come round to begin the final. Maximilian and Otis Cleary, 2 drivers who have been phenomenal today on the front row of the grid. And what is is it going to be a race start? Yes, it is. There you go. Your pole sitter leads.
Somehow, the drivers currently 3rd, 4th and 5th didn't just have the mother and father of all accidents. They all touched side by side going through the Bruno Ferrari S's, and none of them rotated. They all kept going straight. So that was excellent. And now they're battling again. Hairpin number 1. Who's that in the 3rd position? That is the number 17 car, is it? Is that Evan Mellor, the privateer? It is, you know.
Yes, it
He's down
is.
to 4th. That's a great start. And the number 10 kart of Sebastian Behrman also picking up a place. Behrman has had a quiet day today, not as quiet as his cousin Oliver. And that looks like a track that is going from dry to mildly moist to very moist to soaking.
That is rain, Henry. There are slippery surface flags now out on the track for the drivers. Is Maximilian Abarat going to let this win slip with the slippery surface flags out?
My goodness
You
me.
can really see the track conditions changing there for the drivers. But speaking of one of them, who you just mentioned, Henry, the privateer, Evan Miller, did you know that his mom was his mechanic?
Really? Evan
believe
Mellor's
so.
mum? Oh, I'm a fan already.
She
Go
was
team
before
mum.
anyway, but now you can see your man in second, Jackson Hilton. Is challenging Maximilian Abarat for that lead. These are the first 2 drivers testing out the track conditions for the first time on this second lap. But Jackson Hilton will slot himself straight back into that 2nd position.
Do you know something? In the modern era, and that's from 2019 onwards, of the Motorsport UK British Championship, Minimax has been one of the highlights year on year, and it is a breeding ground for champions. Just think of this: Scott Marsh, 2nd in the Minimax Championship, to Ethan Jeff Hall, 2024-2025 World Karting Champion. Who else has come through? Emerson McAndrew-Uren, the reigning Minimax champion in the UK, just signed for Tony Kart, the factory Tony Kart team. So if you do well in Minimax, you can do well anywhere.
Absolutely, Henry, and like you said, a driver to watch out for was that car number 135 of Logan Rolfe, who is now up into 11th. Logan was doing well in these races earlier along today, so I'm not sure how he ended up starting so far back for the final, if I am correct. But he is currently up 7 places, now battling with Buddy Hugo and Eddie Duncan for the spots just inside that top 10. He is, speaking of, your fastest car on track, that car number 11. But your leader, Maximilian Abarat, leads Hilton, Behrman, Miller, and Singh Pahal.
Now, Dian Singh Pahal was moved effectively. He has replaced Emerson McAndrew-Uren in the Dan Holland racing team as he graduates out of Micromax as the reigning British champion. And he's got the Balamory bomber, Soren Gallagher, Otis Cleary right on his exhaust pipe, Logan Rolfe. And of course, he's such a character, is Logan. He is one of the most, the loudest and the nicest kids in the paddock. And last year, his parents, they suffered a huge loss when all their equipment and their trailer was stolen. And I don't believe it's been recovered, sadly. But Logan, he put his big boy pants on, went and then represented Great Britain in the T4 Nations Cup. And to start off this year, he won the Rotax Euro Trophy Winter Cup and came second last weekend in the first round at Cremona. So Logan is on a tear for the KR Sport team. So he's moved away from Luke Christie Racing and he's now with KR Sport. And this is so impressive. There's a sheen on the circuit. It's not fully wet. The drivers are able to keep enough temperature in those Slick Mojo tyres to not suffer the ice rink debacle.
Absolutely, Henry. That was the battle between the teammates for that 5th position. But Maximilian Abarat, a driver who, Henry, I'm sure you will know, I'm sure.
Oh, yes,
but he has been
this morning,
phenomenal today.
what happened in this morning? Oh, gee, woof, weef.
These minis they battled every single lap of this race, but Maximilian has managed to, he's dropped back to the front and he has managed to secure himself, of course, a pole for the final. Now leads still in these tricky conditions, but Jackson Hilson, car number 45, giving no room. Oh, we have a car on the grass down towards hairpin 2, but they're going to recover it.
It's a Hunter Motorsports kart, and it's the number, was it Oscar Kenny in the number 48? Or let's have a look further down the order for a Hunter Motorsport kart. Well, it was definitely, I think that was Oscar Kenny, but he's okay, just a little bounce around the grass. Abrahart, we haven't got the live chat feature in front of us, so I can't say thank you to all the wonderful SlipStream members.
You possibly might be able to. Anyway, here is the battle into turn 1. Maximilian Abarat and Jackson Hilton ever so close, separated now by 0.09 of a second as they head into the bowl. Logan Rolfe up into 6th position. What a drive from him, and he is not finished yet. You have 4.5 minutes left of this race to go. The front kind of 6 are ever so bunched together now. These track conditions, obviously the drivers getting more confident now with these track conditions. Into hairpin 2 they will go. Is Jackson Hilton going to send a move? No, he doesn't. There is no changes for positioning up now, and that is your top 6. That is Abarat, Hilton, Cleary, Pahal, Behrman and Rolfe round out that top 6. Evan Miller unfortunately dropped down into that 7th position. He's dropped back in every race so far. Is he going to make his way back up? He still has just under 4 minutes to do so.
Yes, Evan Miller was sent up the banking coming off turn number 4. Frank Morris, P28 for Frank, who is trying Minimax this weekend because of the lack of Water Swift restricted. Hello to Nana Babs, watching Albie Lapper, and he'll be out in the Senior Rotax final, and I hope Nana Babs is doing well. Obviously, you know, a tough off-season for the Lapper family, but...
Sorry, Henry, but there was a change for the race lead. Oh, and that is someone up, straight up the bank on the grass. That is Jackson Hilton that now leads Maximilian Abarat. Who was that car that was on the grass?
Well, it was Otis Cleary and his Dan Holland Racing teammate, Dian Pahal.
Teammates as well.
Yeah, because if you recall, last month here at the Winter Warmer Trophy, not one but 2 finals saw Dan Holland Racing karts have a meeting of the minds, shall we say, and it happened again just there. Lap times 101.19 second for Oscar Kenny, and that compares, well, that's only a second off Lucian Smith's track record. So track conditions, considering there were a few spots of rain, have been remarkably good.
Absolutely. Here is your leader then, Jackson Hilton up into the bowl. Maximilian Abarat now down to 2nd. Is he going to keep that stick? Henry, Logan Rolfe now up into 3rd. He's got 2 minutes and 20 seconds still left of this race. It is all to play for, and is he going to go for P2? Yes, he does.
Yeah, he's got to go. He's got to go straight away.
Listen, he does. Oh, but Is Maximilian Abarat going to go side by side? No. There you go. Logan Ralph up into that P2. Jackson Hilton still leads, but Logan Ralph will be hunting him down. Logan came from way down the grid. He's up 15 positions. Up 15 positions, he will be wanting to challenge for that win as your drivers are now through Sector 3. That is Dian Singh, Pahal and Eddie Duncan now rounding out your top 5. Evan Miller managed to bring himself back up into 6th, but no more just yet. Your fastest driver out on track with these conditions on is now Oscar Kenny. Oh, is there going to be a change for the race lead? No, he has a lock, but he doesn't quite get it done. That is Jackson Hilton, who goes a little bit defensive there into the bowl. They are they are absolutely bumper to bumper here, and now this will bring the 4 of them now into contention, heading down towards hairpin 1. Someone I think runs ever so slightly so wide. That was Singh Patel, but no change for position just yet. Jackson Hilton, Logan Ralph, Maximilian Abarat and Singh Patel.
Logan Ralph has to make his move now. He cannot sit behind Jackson Hilton for long because he's so much quicker than Jackson Hilton. If he doesn't make the move now and maintain his momentum, he's going to get trapped running at Jackson Hilton's pace. And as we've seen, Jackson Hilton can only match the pace of Maximilian Aberhart and Dian Singh Pahal. So if Logan doesn't go for it now, he is going to be drawn in to a 4-kart battle for the lead with just over 30 seconds to go.
However, Henry, we saw those hand signals.
Oh!
No, but he doesn't listen. He listens to you. There you go. Logan Ralph switches into the lead down the inside of Jackson Hilton onto turn 1. He leads through the bowl.
That is 17 places gained in 9 minutes and 30 seconds for Logan Ralph. And this is the difference between the experience levels. Logan is a second-year Minimax driver. 2.5 year because he's so tall for his age. Dian Singh Pahal, a first year. Jackson Hilton, I think is his first year as well. Maximilian Aberhart. No, this is his second year, I think, in the class for Maximilian Aberhart.
Speaking of Dian Singh Patel, he just went down the inside there for the 3rd position, so he is now contending for a podium. We are 0 on the timer and we have 1 lap to go.
Now, the Coles racing cars, Eberhard, and meanwhile, Evan Meller is back into 5th position after being beaten up. But Team Mum could get a top 5 here. They are the next, they've just been passed by Oscar Kenny and Eddie Duncan. Soren Gallagher now runs 6th. But here we go, final lap, into the bowl. Rolf now has to defend. Oh, but there's Hilton, gets to the inside, does he? No. And this is good news for Rolf. 2nd and 3rd, side by side. They're going to slow each other down, lose their momentum.
Is there going to be a change for 3rd? No. The man in 3rd goes defensive into hairpin 1. It is Rolf Hilton, Abarat and Singh Patel. Down
Now,
hairpin 2 they go, 1 by 1.
Refresh my memory. Why was Logan Rolf starting so far back? Because so much has happened today, I can't quite recall.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Henry?
it's been a blur. It's been a blur. So Logan Rolf,
Oh, there are
obviously.
the teammates having a squabble.
Well, there goes Singh Pahal to the inside on Hilton. A little bit of a hip and shuffle, but what a drive from this man.
Logan Ralph is your Minimax final winner of the Challenge Cup here at PFI. How well deserved. That was a 17 position gain for that car number 135 of Logan Ralph. How well deserved. But nonetheless, Maximilian Abarat, what a drive from him today, going up through the ranks. Unfortunately, that is a Thule Motorsport car of 26 who didn't manage to finish this race.
Now, you know, I'm going to say something. It might not make sense to you because I'm saying it, and it wasn't. It was a terrible thing having all their karting kit nicked. Logan Rolf and his mother Kelly and his dad Gary. However, since that happened, I think that trauma and that sort of brush with reality has just matured Logan a little bit, and he now has he's still jovial, happy, polite, popular, but he certainly has matured in every single way. And I think having all his karting stuff nicked, realised, oh, money doesn't grow on trees, this isn't a given, I may not do this forever, and it's just focused him. And he is going to be one of the main contenders for being the British champion this year in Minimax. As you look at the results, great drive from Logan.
Absolutely, and here you go, looking further down your field. Minimax 950, race 18 of the day, final complete.
Ethan Manzi and Rupert Thomas, the only non-finishers. As well as Flynn Grantham.
But let's move along, Henry. Okay, and we are on to the big carts.
Again,
Junior X30.
It's not okay. It's X30. Dear me.
Oh my gosh, he's done it again. He's done it again.
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to get my gags in while I'm here. Which has been... Well, I mean, I've saved half a life, Manny. You know, half a day's... Oh, dear. Oh. Riley Cranham has the Junior X30 lap record. 56.49 seconds. Now, there are 12 drivers in this 26 kart grid who were at Wilton Mill last weekend, including all 3 podium finishers. And of course, Rocco Shenton last weekend didn't qualify, had to start from the back.
Yeah.
Rocco Shenton this weekend qualified on pole.
We have spoken about that, and Rocco Shenton, he didn't qualify, however, he was still up there battling with familiar face for him, George Edgar.
And everybody on slick tyres, including the number, who is that? It's a premium karting entry.
57.
Orion Meta, yes, who goes for a spin. It's been a tough season for Orion. Here we go, your starting lineup.
But here we go then. George Edgar and Kai Clark on the front row. Rocco Shenton and Alfie Brown on the second. Katie Donaldson and Freddie Wood, who we saw do very well in that last heat. Jacob Batchelor and Jake Fluett are your top 8. Rounding out your top 10 is George House, the XL Kart, and Jacob Marples. Finley Hines and Aaron Richardson are your top 12. Millen Tomlinson, Night Measures, Orion Meta, and James Nolan.
Now, Night Measures had a huge crash at Kart Masters last year. Charlie Blenkinsop, whose dog Bertie Blenkinsop's allowed in this weekend. He can come and be a paddock pooch. Harry Myers, Hayden Fisher, Sam Mott and Charles Kitely, the rest of the top 24. Katie Clark at the back of the field.
Did you say paddock pooch?
Paddock pooch. You've never heard of a paddock pooch?
I've heard of a pooch like a dog.
Exactly, that's a paddock pooch. A dog in the paddock. It's a
we
paddock
love
show pooch.
We love a paddock pooch. I actually saw one out there on the grandstand earlier, but I cannot see it anymore. Right, here we go for the Junior X30 final of the day. There you go, your pole sitter. Who does he lead into the bank? And yes, they do. George Edgar, Kai Clark and Rocco Shenton.
Now, I will say this. This is the first time that I've commentated on Kai Clark since last year's Rotax Grand Finals, and before anybody in the live chat wants to express any form of opinion about last year's runner-up in the Junior Rotax British Championship, please don't. Let's just enjoy the racing. These are children. They make mistakes, they grow up, they learn from their mistakes, and they can't be criticised too harshly in a public forum when they're not 18 years old. Anyway, that's my soapbox. I just wanted to make sure that we were all singing from the same hymn sheet because, yeah, Kai Clark is with a new team, not surprising, XL Motorsport, and hey, I do hope that he has gone away over the winter and really just worked on himself, because as you can see, he has got absolute heaps of talent behind the wheel of a kart. Now, just needs the maturity and the mental side of the game to match his talent. It'll catch up. It will.
Well, Henry, it is getting heated at the front, and who is that? Is that George Edgar that goes back to the lead?
That's
That is
Rocco.
kind of a 6 who comes out. Rocco Shenton, of course, now leads into hairpin 2, but it is like 4-kart battle now for the second position, but it is Kai Clark who comes out, and they go one by one, the 7 karts, all at the sharp end of this grid, through the S's for one of the first times. 8 minutes to go plus a lap. Anything can happen. It is all bunching up at the front of this grid. Track conditions are changing, but Kai Clark is nonetheless, Kai Clark was 0.09 seconds behind. as out of the final corner they will go, and let's see what that is now. Is Rocco Shenton able to get himself a gap? No, he has 3 carts right on that back bumper.
Well, if this means that we get a full season of Rocco Shenton versus Kai Clark in the British Championship in Junior X30, sign me up, I am in. I'm not quite sure how many nose cones and side pods they will go through, but it will be electric.
Is Kai Clark going to go round the outside the XL Motorsport cart? Yes, and he is going to make his way up into 3rd anyway. Is he going to get around the outside of the hairpin 2? Oh, he is on the rumble strip using that grass, but he is going to slot back into 4th place. Is this his first weekend with XL Motorsport? It possibly is. And I tell you what, it's not a bad introduction.
Well, yes, because I think it is. Let me have a see. I haven't seen Kai Clark out neither of the 2 Wilton Mill events that we've done, none of them. So this could be a debut, certainly here at PFI, for Kai Clark. There he goes, just holding off the number 38 Fusion Motorsport machine of Freddie Wood.
Henry, the rain is falling down. I can see more rain coming down outside this commentary box, but that is no challenge for Rocco Shenton, who leads by 6/10. George Egger and Alfie Brown hunting him down, and it is a single file through hairpin 1 for the top 8 drivers, really, before there is any sort of gap. Oh, there is some wheel banging from that car number 167 of Kai Clark in the XL Motorsport cart. Now promoting himself up into 3rd once again. Is he going to hunt down these 2 drivers in front, or are they going to keep battling for that 3rd position? They shouldn't yet. They have 6 minutes to go. They cannot be battling for that 3rd place just yet, or they are going to let the 2 leaders run away with it. George Egger, Rocco Shenton, 2 drivers who we have seen for the last 2 weekends at the sharp end of this grid, going side by side into turn 1. But who is it that takes the lead? It will be, who is that? That will be Kai Clark now.
Clark is 3rd. Edgar has a totally different driving style to Shenton and Clark. Just watch. George Edgar, he's sly, he's smooth with the kart. He glides into moves. He doesn't, pick the kart up and launch it into a move like Clark and Shenton do. It's going to be a fascinating season between Edgar and Shenton. It's already been fantastic at Wilton Mill and here at PFI. Edgar, winner of the Icebreaker. Let's have a look. Look at the rain coming down. Edgar's won the Icebreaker. He's come 2nd at the Wilton Mill, the Winter Warmer Trophy, and he won the opening round at Wilton Mill last weekend. Shenton, I'm just looking there in the number 6 kart. Well, this is box office. He's only had 1 podium this year, has Rocco Shenton. Oh, yeah, incredible. He's only had 1 podium, but this is box office. I think we're going to go Rocco Box Office Shenton. You buy a ticket to watch him race.
Well, down towards hairpin 1 they go. George Egger is not actually on our timing screen, for those of you getting confused, but Rocco Shenton is in P2. He is not leading the race as of right now. There, down hairpin 1 they go. That cart number 2, George Egger leads. But Rocco Shenton right on that back bumper into hairpin 2. Does he get slightly better run? We don't know. He is right on that back bumper of George Egger heading through the S's.
Yes, well spotted. That George Edgar, I think his transponder didn't pick up last lap because he did a 1 minute 58 second lap, so that has been rectified. And here is the number 3 kart, Aaron Richardson, holding off Alfie Brown, and Kai Clark was slipped back a little bit. I think he's going to have to, one thing that Kai Clark will have to learn, without losing his identity as in terms of the style and the way he races, is that sometimes these X30 races are slightly more refined than the junior Rotax chaos that often erupts.
Well, we are still waiting to see. The Junior Rotax final is only a few races ahead. But George Egger leads into hairpin 1. Rocco Shenton, Aaron Richardson and Alfie Brown in that pack. Who is that? That is Kai Clark right on the back of Alfie Brown for that 5th position, heading down into hairpin 2. These are all getting quite bunched up.
Yeah, Kai Clark, sorry, Keel. Kai Clark has already passed Alfie Brown. He's now on the rear bumper of Aaron Richardson, but working together. Frenemies. Friends 1 minute, enemies the next. Edgar and Shenton, they have been very, very clever. And it's got them a grand total of about 3 kart lengths worth of clean air.
Exactly that, Henry. These drivers are no strangers to each other. They are no strangers to this track. So they will be knowing how to manage the final, working together. However, I don't know if that is working for them, because car number 3, Aaron Richardson, is right there now in that pack. It is going to be a 5-car battle for the lead. The conditions still changing. And now Aaron Richardson right on the back bumper of Rocco Shenton. He's going to send it down the inside of hairpin 1, and he gets the move done. This is bringing Kai Clark into contention. That new XL Motorsport driver. They are side by side coming out of hairpin 2. Ooh.
I was going to say, and all this is happening on a damp track with slick tyres. Richardson, so impressive. Shenton pulled a move. Well, he backed out of it just the last second, going into the second hairpin. But yeah, this is all happening on slick tyres, and you can see the rain. Now the lap, well, the track conditions are improving. Last time by, the fastest lap of the race was done by 58.28 seconds by Kai Clark. That's 1.8 seconds off the lap record. But still, you wouldn't know the track conditions were marginal. Just watching the intensity of the top 2 for 5. Here we go.
Here we go, defensive lines at the front into hairpin 1 then, and that bunches all 5 drivers up. But no change just yet. Is that kart of car number 94 going to go round the outside? And yes, he does. Alfie Brown round the outside at hairpin 2. Is that going to slow him back to the back though?
He can't stick the move though, and Teddy Higgs would not approve of that, because Teddy Higgs was watching, and apparently I missed 2 Slim Shadys round the outside moves last week at Wilton Mill, and Teddy was not happy. So there wasn't one there because Alfie Brown couldn't quite hold on to it. So,
however, we have a minute left plus a lap to go. Are we going to see some Henry? Hopefully we will, just for you. But Kai Clark still set the fastest lap, that car number 167, who is, I think, contending for 3rd. Yes, he is. Kai Clark up into that 3rd position. As these 5 drivers all straight together, some defensive lines. Who is that guy that's going to try and go around the outside, but he can't quite make it stick? That is still Shenton, Edgar, and Kai Clark now in 3rd position. With that car number 94, Alfie Brown right behind. Ooh, yeah, defensive lines again from Kai Clark. Heading into sector 3, but no change for those top 5 just yet. No more. Here we go. See them going through the final few corners. We've got 12 seconds of this race left. So it looks like this is going to be, now we are going to be moving on to the penultimate lap as they come out the final corner and onto the main straight once again. Here we go then, Rocco Shenton. Oh.
That's a very wide barrel kart. So here we go, 1 lap to go. Just under 1,400 metres to sort out who will win the PFI Challenge Cup. Shenton, Edgar. Oh, that was good.
Here we go. What are we going to see, Henry? This is now the final lap. Rocco Shenton leads into hairpin 1. George Edgar and Kai Clark right behind. This is the final lap. What are we going to see into hairpin 1? Nothing as of yet. Is Kai Clark going to drop out of that position? Yes, he is. Rocco Shenton leads. George Edgar right behind, and Kai Clark manages to stick that podium position right at the last second. Into the 3rd sector they will go. No change again for those top 5 just yet.
This is Rocco Shenton's chance to equalise with 1 win apiece here at PFI. With him and George Edgar. He comes through the Mike Wilson complex. What a drive!
And is looking like he is going to do that as your winner. Rocco Shenton goes over the line for the first time. There you go. Rocco Shenton wins. I mean, Henry, I would like to say that isn't too much of a surprise. We watched him absolutely dominate Wilton Mill last weekend after no qualifying, who just got pipped by George Edgar. This weekend it is the tables are reversed, and that car number 2, George Edgar, has just been pipped this time. Those drivers, of course, no strangers to each other. Kai Clark, Aaron Richardson, and Alfie Brown are rounding out the top 5 for that race.
And I've got to say, that race was box office. Pure box office. And let's see, lots of support online. Let's just go back to the, what have we missed? Nana Babs, hello. Oh, yes. Well, there we go. Dirk, our friend from Germany, who's such a loyal supporter you've got the official seal of approval from Dirk, which, well done indeed. Yes, no need to be nervous. That's right. Oh, well, you missed the results. Oh, come on, Keo. What are you doing? God, I'm going to do everything
Henry,
for you.
You've joined half the day, and now you're going to do everything for me.
Well,
okay.
That's told me.
I see. No, it's fine. I see how it is. Here is your last few remaining drivers. And we can see the drivers just heading in to the pits now. There is a bit of a blockage. What are you going to say, Henry?
All I'll say is, ooh.
Yeah. Yeah, we will.
No, it's, you know, this is Keel's second day in the commentary box. Her first day was last Sunday. So if she can survive 2 days, well, make that 1.5 days, working with me, she is going to go far in life. Who's going to go far in this next race? Because it's Junior X30. Is it? No, it's not. Of course it's not. It's Senior X30. Up next. Right, if you can be bothered, read the grids. Jeez.
Right, Henry. Anyway, I've got someone very expectant now in the commentary box with me, all of a sudden, but I will read the grids, Henry. Tristan Powell and Nat Johnston are on the front row, two drivers who have been very strong today. Spencer Allen and Aaron Brown are on row 2. Freddie Lloyd and Lewis Goff on row 3. Hayden Eldridge and Mayan Patel on row 4. Rounding out the top 10 is Joey Brown and Dylan Patel for Fusion Motorsport. Lewis Bird and Monty Brathwaite. Lewis Bird hasn't had the best weekend so far, so I'm not having the best one weekend either last weekend at Wilton Mill, but hopefully he's able to make those positions up in the final. Ethan Woodward and Reese Newburn. Dorian Malik and Sam Lewis round out your top 16. We have
a Mick Barrett racing kart on the grass and a Birrell ART rotating as well. The weather's getting worse.
Well, that's not where we want to be on the outlap, is it, Henry?
No, and there is Liam Karabelov, Macy Hitter. Great start for Macy Hitter. A couple of years ago, Macy suffered an unbelievably serious accident going under the bridge. They made a documentary about it. She was on the news and everything. So to come back, put that behind her, and that was when she was a junior and she had that crash. Now she's a senior. I am obliged to say thank you to Joanna Humphreys, to Lorna McEwen, and to Angela Doherty for becoming SlipStream members after purchasing the SlipStream pass. Hello to AD Bond as well. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Well then, Henry, here we are. It's going to be a slow start, but we are almost underway with our Senior X30 final of the day. There you go, a driver who is on that front row of the grid, Nat Johnston. We watched him do very good, so they're going to go around again. More time to chat.
Something's going to go wrong when they start warming their tyres like that. The karts are zigzagging all over the place, and you just know that it's not going to end well for somebody, and it's not started well for Jack Dan. Out of the kart, stood at the side of the circuit on the run down to the first hairpin. You will see Jack just there on the right hand side of your screen with the crash helmet still on. And I want to say a big get well soon to Archie Cole. We saw have that huge accident earlier. I know that Archie is currently at a local hospital, awake and alert and all that stuff. Might have a bit of a baddie on his leg, maybe. But,
yes, he's been checked over by medical professionals, but luckily he was out of the car and walking and talking all okay.
And it's a real shame because he was being mechanicked by double British senior TKM Extreme champion James Pashley, who knows his stuff. Well, a 1-3 for the MDL team. There is poor old Jack Dan, who is trudging away. The rocket ship, Jack Neckenship, is not out there either. And have we got no Ethan Woodward or Monty Brathwaite? Let's have a look. The number 37, the 83. No, they are there. I've just seen. Oh, is it number 32? Reese Newburn is the number 37. So Monty Brathwaite, Ethan Woodward. Was that missing the grid gate closing while they waited to change tyres? But the lights are out and we are off and racing. So, over the grass. Hold your breath. Hold on to your lunch. Somehow they all emerge unscathed. Wow, that was, I'm trying to see who that was. It was the red and black PF International kart, Aaron Brown, who got too agricultural, but survives as they come off the bridge. Look at that, 3 wide.
Ooh, and your race leader runs wide. Nat Johnston, your front row sitter, did grab the lead initially, but he didn't. And saying that, he takes the lead straight back. He ran wide at hairpin 1, but no, he takes the lead straight back at hairpin 2. Car number 15, Nat Johnston leads into the final sector of the race. Nat Johnston leads, I believe, Tristan Powell and Spencer Allen, that is, going through the final sector. You can see a considerable amount of rain now on these cameras. How bad is this going to get? We will see. The conditions are going to be changing throughout this race. 9 minutes to go plus a lap. And Nat Johnston will be leading everyone. He will be the first driver to suss out those conditions. Oh my gosh, and speaking of that, Nat Johnston, he overcooks it on the exit of the final corner and he spins.
Oh my, congratulations, Keogh Lynch. You have just joined the Commentator's Curse class of 2026. One mere mention of Nat Stappen's name, and he drops from first to 29th. And unfortunately, the number 75 so Jack Nettleship is out there, but his transponder's not working, and the rain is intensifying. That could actually help Nat Stappen a little bit, but you need to written apology to Nat and his family.
Well, I do. I am
costing him that
very
victory.
sorry. It's going to be a serious recovery drive. There we go, that we can see Nat now coming through the first hairpin. He has made itself back onto track. But in the midst of all of that, your leader is now Freddie Lloyd, leading Tristan Powell, Lewis Goff, Joey Brown, and Hayden Eldridge, who did benefit from that. Let's talk about Taj Buckley.
Ty Buckley, oh yes.
Sorry, Ty, who is up 15 positions, and Morgan Moore up 23. Already in the midst of this race. I mean, those two are currently unstoppable so far, clearly not doing too bad in these conditions. They are now up to 5th and 6th. They obviously benefit from that incident with Nat, but here we go, we will see. Round the bowl, they go.
And there on your screen is the number 87 card of Oscar Cole for the Jade Racing team, who's about to be lapped. Obviously, he's had an issue. Here come the leaders. Look at that sideways reacting to the lack of grip. Great kart control by all the drivers. They were all on the inside line. They all had the back end snap out, and they all saved the slide perfectly and carried on without losing any time.
Beautiful move down the inside from Joey Brown for the second position. Lewis Goff now demoted down into third, but it will be Freddie Lloyd leading down sector 3. Freddie Lloyd, Lewis Goff, Brown, Powell, and Taj Buckley. Taj Buckley and Morgan Moore, what can they do for the remaining just under 7 minutes plus a lap of this race? Your leader then into turn 1 is looking like it's getting even wetter out there on the circuit, but Freddie Lloyd says, nope, that is not bothering me. He sets what was the fastest lap of the race and pulls himself a 1.9 second gap already to Joey Brown, the Fusion Motorsport car in second place.
Now, as the camera pans back, you will see and notice that Spencer Allen has dropped all the way down to 23rd position. He is in that battle there, that scrummage in kart number 16. Such a shame. He showed so much promise, took the win in the last heat race, has obviously had an issue. Just looking back, there he goes. He's coming into the Fullerton S's there. Here's the battle of karts in front of him. There is the number 8. There's the Fusion Motorsport. Is it number 8? My eyesight. Yes, it is the number 8 kart, Fusion Motorsport machine of Morgan Moore. I'm so used to watching Morgan Moore in the colours of premium karting, which is where he raced.
Now up into 4th, 5th now position, Henry.
Just, that's incredible. Sometimes it takes a drive to change teams, change scenery, to really wake him up and, give him the kick in the backside that he needs. There's the very congenial and jovial Irishman, Morgan Moore.
Right, here we go, your leader into hairpin 1. The top 3 are currently pretty spread out, but we do have a gap going on there for 4th position. That is between car number 33 and car number 8, Morgan Moore, who is charging through the field, 25 positions up. What more can he do?
Hey,
can he make it to the podium?
What more can Morgan Moore do? There we go. See, you're getting it. You're getting it. Bad puns.
Dare I say no pun intended. Here we have
Excellent.
Another battle. That is car number 15 down the inside. Further to the back, that is Nat Johnston. That was your leader, who was not your leader. He ended up backwards out of the final corner, but he is making himself back up. He set the fastest lap a short time ago, so we will see what Nat Johnston is able to do for a recovery race. Very different race for him than he had last weekend at Wilton Mill. He did not lead a lap, but he is now up into 24th.
And of course, the 215 kart is different from the 15 kart. So the 215 is Ty Buckley, the 15 is Nat Johnson. It's made even harder by the fact they run for the same team. So Johnson still 24th,
Ooh.
and Lloyd, and look at that, so lap times. They are lapping 9 seconds off lap record pace. And it's getting slower and slower. So the track, and there is the Mick Barrett Racing machine getting sideways. That was Ty Buckley again, I believe, getting sideways, trying to make the pass. Now, that bright green TV kart, the mean green TV kart machine, doing very well in the hands of Ethan Higgins for S8 Racing, and even better for Hayden Eldridge. Now, Hayden Eldridge in kart number 33, just a quick check. Yep, he's on a TV kart, not a Fullerton. S8 Racing have really improved their results, and pace has improved since moving over to the TV kart. As here we go, leader Freddie Lloyd, 9/10 up the road. All the excitement is for the minor placings, but there's still 3 minutes to go, Keogh, and in 3 minutes anything can happen.
Exactly that, it really can. But what can Morgan Moore do is my question. That car number 8 up 26 positions. Can Morgan Moore get themselves to the podium? I'm not sure. The first 4 are pretty spread out right now, but it's looking like we can. Tell you what though, the slippery surface flag is back out, and I feel sorry for those marshals out there, the Orange Army. It is wet, it is rainy, the track conditions are clearly changing a lot. Hopefully Freddie Lloyd, your race leader, does not suffer for this like your leader did, Nat Johnston.
Yeah, and Nat Stappen busy putting the nose. No, sorry, that's Ty Buckley, sorry. Busy putting the nose to Hayden Eldridge there. Morgan Moore's attempts to get on the podium have just been thwarted because he has been given a 5-second in-race penalty. Obvious tramline infringements, one would assume. So Morgan Moore, 3rd on the road. And there's somebody sliding wide onto the bowl. Moore's 5-second penalty would put him back in 7th. So Moore will not, no, he's not going to finish on the podium. 2 minutes to go, but he can improve by just trying to get a gap, get some clean air. He's in 3rd position. He would have seen that he's got a 5-second penalty.
However,
so now,
Henry, I don't think that's going to stop Morgan Moore for challenging for that P2 on the road.
Well, I mean, he's going to get and maybe push his teammate because he knows that he just needs 5 seconds of clean track behind him. And the best way to do that, to get to that, is by working with your teammate in a mature and friendly bit of cooperation as they go side by side.
That is what the teams like to see. But nope, that will be car number 9. Whoop, runs slightly wide, but will get in front of their teammate. Let's have a quick look further down the grid. Macy Hitter, I saw down there, didn't have the great start, I don't think. But she is now. Macy Hitter was down to further down the grid, down at the back, but she has managed to make her way back up to 21st. I don't know if she had a slight. Is there a change for the lead though? I'm speaking too soon. Yes, 2 teammates are going to try and go into the lead together. There's a bang of the wheels.
Morgan Moore trying to get into the lead, penalty or not. Morgan Moore's got a bit between a Slim Shady on the straight. Teddy Higgs, are you watching a Slim Shady on the straight from Morgan Moore? And credit where credit is due to Freddie Lloyd. He could have just pushed Morgan off onto the wet grass, and that would have been a big crash.
We know
and
it,
he
Henry.
didn't.
After Morgan Moore's performances today, we know he was going to go for the win on the track. But what is happening now? That is teammate now, Joey Brown, I think that is out in front. As they approach the final few corners, what do we have here? We've got a Fusion kart, a Premium kart, and then the kart now of Morgan Moore back down into 3rd position. Joey Brown leads the gap. This is going to be the penultimate lap. The timer is now on 0. Freddie Lloyd just 1/10 behind. Round the ball they go. What are we going to have from our leaders here? Joey Brown up 8th positions this race. The premium car right behind as they enter hairpin 1. Is there going to be a change? No, not just yet. You see the cards go sideways during the braking time. Boo, your leader is going to run wide on the exit. That is Joey Brown down now into 2nd, is it?
Yes, it is. Morgan Moore is actually up into 2nd place, but the battling means that Morgan Moore is still only 7th when his penalty has been applied, and there goes Freddie Lloyd launching over the curbs. Here, Lloyd.
Oh, wheel banging sideways. Oh!
Look at that's going to be a triple crossover, and an outside Slim Shady on a straight in the same race. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. And the last lap board's going out. This is the British champion, Freddie Lloyd, battling with, well, Morgan Moore is battling on the track. Oh, and that was a bit naughty. Yeah, well, do you know what? Oh, you've got to be careful, boys. That's Lewis Goff, and no Lewis Goff, it's a Fusion car, and Ty Buckley. I've got to say, that was maybe a little bit over the limit from both. You know, you can't be hip checking each other down the straight at 70 miles an hour.
But
it just won't work.
Somehow everyone missed all of that. Freddie Lloyd still leads. Now with an ever so slightly a gap. We have its change in position there. Where was that? 4, was that 3rd? Oh, and
Morgan
we have...
Moore.
Ooh, Freddie Lloyd, was that a slight mistake out of hairpin 2? Morgan Moore now getting very close. This is the final lap. We will see as we head into the final sector what these two are going to come out with. However, because of the penalty, it will only be a P2 for Morgan Moore on track due to the penalty. But Freddie Lloyd nearly out of the final corner. They will go, approaching the final few corners. Joey Brown, Lewis Goff and Taj Buckley in your top 5 right now. Is there going to be any change for positions as we get to the line? Oh, we have a spinner, one of the Fusion carts spins and just misses out on the checkered flag.
That just cost Morgan Moore. Well, first of all, Morgan Moore, excellent, 360-degree spin, kept it pinned, 8.9 for style points, but it did cost him. He would have finished in the top 5, then he started battling with Freddie Lloyd when he didn't need to, and he will be classified provisionally 15th. He didn't need to fight. But of course, this isn't a championship, it's a one-off event, so he's not exactly going to be, devastated over not finishing 5th. You got to go for it. Had to give it a go.
Absolutely. These drivers are absolutely sending it here through these tricky conditions as well. Slippery surface flag out for most of the race, but it was an unlucky race. It was an unlucky race in the end for Nat Johnson, who did lead down a few of those positions, and Spencer Allen, also another driver who dropped back slightly, is Aaron Brown. It's unlucky for him as well. But Freddie Lloyd, your Senior X30 20th race of the day winner. What a race from our Senior X30s, Henry. But what have we got up next?
Well, we have got 2 races to go in a day that has just flown by. 2 races, 2 main events, Junior Rotax and Senior Rotax. But it's the juniors, they are up first.
Here we
That's
go.
a fair old race, boys and girls, wasn't it, eh? What a race.
Yes, race director Nigel Edwards giving his thumbs up seal of approval for the racing in Senior X30. But it's time for the penultimate race of the day, Junior Rotax.
All right then, Henry, what a race that we just saw from our Senior X30s. But we have now Junior Rotax up next. We know that Junior Rotax are not going to disappoint.
No, they will not. Last month at the Winter Warmer Trophy, I've got to say the Junior Rotax drivers didn't cover themselves in glory in their final. It was going really well until it didn't. And I hope that lessons have been learnt and we'll get a good, clean, respectful race. The Senior X30 final started out, really, really good. But towards the end of it, just these little habits. The looking down and then just quick right hand down, quick left hand down into a driver. That's we've got to stop and get out of that as a sport. And the drivers who are watching this weekend the first major international kart event without the pushback bumper penalty rule. So it's the SCUSA Pro Tour in Arizona this weekend, the Musselman Honda circuit, are doing it without pushback bumpers. Will it work? Well, let's see. But on the basis of how the British drivers drive, I can think that's going to be a headache.
Well, here we go, Henry. It's green out on circuit, and our junior Rotax have joined us for the final time today. Let's have a look at your pole sitter. Zach Turner is joined by Charlie Wolfett on the front row of the grid. Blake Southern and Luca Holmes-Ballack right behind. They will be all drivers who contending for this race lead today. It's been very impressive from all of the top 4. Ewan House and Tom Reed in the top 6. Braith Murdoch and Adam Joaditis in the top 8.
Charlie Wolfett, the highest returning seed from last year's British Junior Rotax Championship. Luca Holmes-Ballack and Tom Reed. Tom Reed, the reigning Grand Finals champion. Teddy Cooper, Ryan Rapini, he's been quick this year. Rares Cosmin Pascu, the half Swiss, half Romanian driver. Joe Neal, John Richardson, George Fountain, Aidan Hammond, and Theo Bradshaw. The rest of your top 16.
Alex Lynn and Thomas Jackson, Kartik Kumeta, Harvey Sargison, Harry Holland, Ryan White, Thomas Welsford, Samita Paul round out the top 24 of this junior Rotax grid. Joining you towards the back is Ian Campbell, Bailey Collinge, Jack Beasley, Ethan Guest, Ali Myers, Ollie Thompson, Kevin Ivanov and Stanley Stafford. And at the back will be Jacob Underhill, Joseph Berkery, Alexander Lewski and Joshua Robinson. Here we go then, we are almost underway, Henry.
And that means that Lily Shaw must have suffered a post-race exclusion from the B final. She didn't go through eventually, and we'll go around again. Joseph Berkery appears to be missing, and oh, there's Joseph Berkery, and there is, who's that?
Who is that? That's car number 20?
Kart 20, the KR Sport of Ali Miras. Ali Miras? Well, Ali?
Well, let's talk about your man joining your pole sitter on the front row, Charlie Wolfett. Charlie Wolfett, last time he was here for the winter warmer, DNF'd. Oh, that is another car under the bridge.
Luckily it's not Joseph Berkery, because he joined the back of the pack and then it looks like a Dan Holland race suit, you know. Stanley Stafford is showing us not coming round, but he's a Hunter Motorsport driver. We will get the mystery of the retired kart. I'm just looking to see the 243 kart is not out there. Now, one driver, Kevin Ivanov, he has got a really good record here. He won around the British Cadet Honda Championship in 2024, and he won around the British Cadet Honda Championship again here in 2023. So 2 British Championship final wins for Kevin Ivanov, but that was in Honda. He's up with the big boys now. He's only starting just inside the top 30.
There we have a straggler just coming around at the back after suffering from the track conditions. Obviously, it is windy, it is wet, and it is cold. And here we go, underway with the Junior Rotax final of today. Your pole sitter leads into turn 1 and up towards the banking. Is everyone going to make it through okay? And it looks like they do. So,
it looks like they do until they don't. As one driver skittles off onto the grass.
However, they are back on the tarmac. Here we go, down towards hairpin 1. Oh, we have some running wide in whoever your man in 3rd position is. Who is that? Is that a strawberry cart possibly? But we have got, there you go, your leader, your pole sitter leads so far into the race. Car number 99, Zach Turner, against Charlie Wolfett, Blake Southern and Luca Holmes-Ballack so far.
Yes, it was the strawberry driver, number 228, Luca Holmes-Ballack, getting run wide. And therefore, that's John Richardson. That is John Richardson out of the race, and there's something else going on. Karts left, right, and anywhere but the prepared surface. That was the number 52 off again. More oohs and ahs because we've got several more spinners. The rain is intensifying, and of course, they haven't had the time to get the tyres up to temperature. So these tyres are still cold-ish, as Dan Holland... Zach Turner leads the Dan Holland Racing kart of Blake Southern. Oh, and there's another one gone. Number 137. Ian Campbell, Craft Motorsport. Oh, and that NASA panel has taken a hefty whack.
Do you know what, Henry? Let's have a quick look down the grid. That is Kevin Ivanov, kart number 265, who has had a phenomenal start in the midst of all of that race. He is up 15 positions into 16th, battling there just behind Harry Holland and Alex Lynn, who has dropped a few places too. But your leader, Zach Turner, leads Blake Southern DHR car and Luca Holmes Ballack.
Oh, I'm so sorry, but I have to comment on this as you watch. So I was watching complete Joe Neal from Thule Motorsport, and I'm just trying to see who he was battling with. It was possibly Alex Lynn. They were using each other up, shall we say. It's slippery, and sometimes you can miss your braking point and just nudge into the driver in front of you, but you don't nudge them when you're doing 20 miles an hour more than them, when you should be braking for the corner. But that has resolved itself. Zach Turner, 1.1 seconds up the road. Still a long time to go though. Blake Southern second. Looking at, there's the number 152 Zip Factory kart. Oh, is that the Zip Factory kart of Theo Bradshaw? In fact, oh yeah, Theo Bradshaw running in sixth position. And there's Harry Holland in the number 77 Zip Factory kart. Harry seems to have been in juniors for about 20 years. He's the only junior driver who drops his kids off in school before he comes to track.
That was an ambitious move there from car number 216, Thomas Jackson. He was already up 10 positions just inside that top 10, but he couldn't quite make it stick as he goes down the second hairpin. There are karts everywhere, as you can see. But your leader, Zach Turner, clearly enjoying these conditions, managing them well, is currently 1.1 seconds. And we do have, what is that, a KR?
It's a Thule Motorsport kart, backwards into the tyres. And was that Tom Reed or Joe? I think it was Tom Reed. We'll get a number check on that, but the reigning Minimax Rotax Grand Finals champion tries reverse and realises it doesn't end well.
If we look towards this front pack then, Harry, all quite spread out so far. Clearly with these conditions, they are each managing it separately, but that is Charlie Wolfett, who's just set your fastest lap, back down into fourth. He did join Zach Turner on the front row, but didn't quite have the start that Zach Turner had. But speaking of, he is now reigning in your man in third, who is Luca Holmes Ballack, as they head through the S's and into the final sector.
And of course, I was talking about Tom Reed going backwards into the tyres. Well, it was the other Thule Motorsport kart of Joe Neal, who has stayed in the race, but has dropped to 25th position. So Neal survives one incident. His teammate Tom Reed continues on. And there's a move from the number 214 kart. That is Braith Murdoch for Ultimate R. Now last year, Braith Murdoch with his old team, Cato Motorsport, he raised a lot of money. I think one of his friends in school sadly took their own life through online bullying. So Braith Murdoch raised a lot of money to help defend teenagers against online bullying, and that is the black and gold machine being shown the exit stage left over the grass. And I couldn't quite get the number. It's a very, very distinctive black and gold liveried machine. The driver is, let's have a look, it was we'll get a number check next time, but see, that there is naughty. No attempt from the KR Sport driver to actually turn the corner. Just use the rear bumper of the kart in front, and they're still going at it. And yeah, there's close racing, there's aggressive racing, and then there's stuff that means Nigel Edwards has suddenly got his pen out and is writing on his clipboard, which normally means bad news for those drivers post-race.
But Henry, there is your leader, the Coles kart of Zach Turner, who was your pole sitter, now in the lead of this race. However, Blake Southern has reined him in. There was only 3 attempts between them, and now they are heading into the first hairpin. They will go with a slight gap to Charlie Wolfett and Luca Holmes Ballack back there. Here is your leader then. Round turn, hairpin 2 they go, and in towards sector 3. Is that P2 going to have a look of Blake Southern? He's going to have a little look, but he's not going to make any moves just yet. Over that curb on the right, and into sector 3 they will go.
Remarkable from Stanley Stafford. 32nd in the race, just set the fastest lap.
Yes.
102.18, which is 5 seconds off Aston Sharp's lap record. Okay. 90 seconds. Is that 90? Yeah. No, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. My eyesight, dear.
Well, that is right, Henry.
Just
3
take
minutes.
me out the back and shoot me.
3 minutes, no! Oh my gosh, we can't be saying that. 3 minutes and 20 seconds to go. Charlie Wolfett sells the fastest lap, that seeded car, number 6. Like I said, Henry, he is the highest seeded car on this grid today. He is back there in 3rd. There's quite a gap for these front 4. And then the gap to 5th is bigger again to Ewan House, that car number 226. But are the front 4 going to bunch up? And the leaders definitely are. Zach Turner taking a look behind him to see Blake Southern is only 3 tenths behind, but it looks like he will be catching him that bit more. Takes another look behind and he sees both DHR carts now heading towards him.
Now,
here we go then.
A quick check. So Blake Southern, he's the reigning Wilton Mill Kart Club champion.
Yeah.
But he hasn't had a massive amount of success here at PF International. 13th in last year's club championship and 23rd in the Icebreaker. But he's obviously having a breakout year because he is getting very, very competitive. And who was that running wide? Was that us? Oh, of course, just I'm praising, and he runs off at the first corner and gives Zach Turner an even bigger lead.
Speaking, Henry, of another driver who we would have expected to see slightly further up, that is car number 722.
That was Joe Neal.
A driver we would have expected to see further up this grid would be Teddy Cooper. Teddy Cooper won here at PFI for the winter warm-up, but is running now down in 7th. He started just inside that top 10. He is just behind Theo Bradshaw, who is up 10 places now into 6th. But Zach Turner leads 4 tenths from Blake Southern, Charles Wolfett, who is currently your fastest driver out on circuit. And then that car number 228 of Luca Holmes Ballack. We have 1 minute and 30 seconds of the race left to go. And your drivers are about to complete another lap as they go through that final sector. Well, let's have a look.
How things can change in the space of a few short weeks. Zach Turner, last month here at PFI, excluded from the final for being a very, very naughty boy. Well, no, he wasn't naughty, he was just obviously too aggressive on track and was excluded. Flip the script one time, come away, change your attitude, sit down, work hard and dominate.
Exactly that, and it looks like he is doing exactly that so far. That car number 100, Blake Southern, did have a sideways moment there on the curb after turn 1. So he has given Zach Turner that bit of a lead, currently now 1.1 seconds. But we have 42nd of this race left to go. With these conditions, as you can see, the rain getting again considerably harder falling down. We will see what this changes. Is this going to change anything for the leaders? Charlie Wolfett still the fastest out on track.
Well, if Zach Turner can hold on, yes, this is a club event. It's not a national championship meeting. However, it would be a significant statement victory if a Coles racing kart can hold off 2 Dan Holland racing karts, just to show that Coles are on their way back up the order to becoming one of the most prominent teams. Ooh. Oh, there's Kevin Ivanov. He had gone so far. He was up to 14th from 31st, and now he's probably back to about 31st. Well, no, he can't be, because there's 32 karts still running. Oh, Kevin, he's not happy. Oh.
I wouldn't be either. He was up 17 places in this final and now dropped straight back.
Put a shift in, the lad. He put a bit of work in, and Joe Neal recovers to a Marshall post. The clock has struck 0. Zach Turner, all he's got to do now is keep his cool. Easier said than done when the rain is now turning the circuit into a greasy, horrible ice rink.
Ooh, exactly that, Henry. You can see him go ever so slightly sideways, but we have slippery surface flags back out on track, which means another considerable change to the track conditions. But here is your race leader. Can he keep things smooth for the next final lap of this race? This will be the final lap. Your leader goes over the curb into turn 1. Zach Turner, Blake Southern, but still your fastest driver out on circuit will be Charlie Wolfett. It doesn't look like there's going to be any fastest lap set now due to the condition change.
Well, Zach Turner, talk about saving the best for last. He pulled out 2 seconds on everybody else. on the penultimate lap, just to break their spirits even more. And they're going past the scene of an incident. There's another kart that has gone off backwards into the tyres, and I think has hit the stationary kart of Joe Neal. And the driver is up and out and okay. There, it's a Dave Edwards racing kart. And there's some seriously reorganised barriers. But we cannot deny Zach Turner, his moment in the sun.
Exactly that, Zach Turner, your Junior Rotax winner.
Ooh, curse the commentator, curse the commentator.
Not just yet. It's
Here we go. Would-be winner. About to be winner. 2 corners away from being a winner.
Nearly winner.
Nearly a winner.
Entering the final sector as he goes through. He is 4.4 seconds ahead. And he...
Oh, Zach, what are you
my
doing, you
gosh.
absolute menace? Just keep it calm, Zach. And still, on the last lap, he was over a second quicker than everybody else.
My bad, I got a bit ahead of myself there. However,
Told
no commentator's
you.
curse
See?
over here. It
See?
nearly was.
It was a bumblebee at
sideways.
Wilton Mill. Karma got me. It'll get you.
Don't say that.
Poor bumblebee. As the rest of the field come across the line, all the way back to Jacob Underhill. They're still coming across the line. And yeah, the gap. So, Zach Turner wins by nearly 6 seconds. Back between, well, Theo Bradshaw, position number 6, 20 seconds behind the winner. And then there was another 8-second gap before we get to Braith Murdoch in 7th. And there are still karts coming across the line, well over a minute.
This is what the condition
After.
changes does, Henry. It spreads out the grid that much of an amount, that considerable amount. And it is nearly everyone over the line. There is Joseph Bakery going over the line, up 8 positions. Alexander Muski is still to do so. There he is now. And Ali Myers, who is over 2.
Of course, with one race to go, are they going to be on wet tyres or slick tyres? That is going to be the question. Because
see.
it is, well, the last lap for nearly everybody, 1 minute 20s. Suddenly, the track conditions have got to the point where everyone was going 20 seconds a lap slower than what they were doing at the start of the race. So that should tell you that I would say wet tyres are possibly the option, but 10 minutes plus a lap. It's not a huge amount of time. Oh, the mechanics are going to be earning their crust in this one. Stress, back and forth. Let's hope that everybody has made the grid and nobody missed the dummy grid, because we have had several drivers so far today in various races miss the grid gate closing point.
Exactly that. But we won't see our senior Rotax grid just yet, because all those karts still need to be picked off the track. As you can see, the mechanics going to their drivers, going to pick up the karts right now, whilst the Orange Army are repairing that barrier.
Have to say, as usual, Trent Valley Kart Club marshalling team among the very, very best in the world. That was a poor Jeremy Clarkson impression. But Keel Lynch, you have done a shift today. Let's bring her home for the final race. Take it away, Keel.
Yes. Well said, Henry. Here we go, and it is nearly time for our final race of the day. Bet the day has flown by for you, Henry.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seems like we've just got here, and it's already over. Huh?
It does.
Parting is such sweet sorrow, and doesn't time fly when you're having fun?
Absolutely, but it's not time just yet, as we still have the Junior Rotaxes being collected off the grid.
Yes, there's John Richardson in the number 68 kart, getting his... Well, it's not bent, that just broke. He didn't crash, he just had a technical failure. The broken wagon onto the kart trolley, and of course this is going to be a little bit of a masterminding how to get a very heavy kart with kart and trolley off some very muddy grass. Let's have a look. Well, Dad picks up the business end of the kart, Child picks up the much lighter front end.
We have front row seats to this one.
Yes. Oh, we're going to get it off. There we go. So when John gets his kart back to the pits. There's still 3 or 4 being retrieved. Yeah, considering 36 starters, we had about 28, 27 finishers in that one. So there were a few technical disasters. There's a few driving disasters as well, but that's just down to the conditions. And we still have to wait and see, has anyone gambled on wet tyres? It's because it stopped raining now. It stopped raining, and look at that wind. The wind will help dry the track quicker. But that's only if the rain stays away.
Absolutely. What do we reckon, Henry? We've got, well, it's got 10 minutes plus a lap to stay away. What do we reckon the drivers are going to go out on? Is it slicks? Is it wets?
If it was a 15-minute race and they were making the decision now, I'd say slicks. But it's a 10-minute race. I was wets for a 10-minute race because you're only going to do 10 laps and you're going to have an advantage for the first half of that race for sure. Exactly. Even if the wind picks up and it dries out. If the track dries out a half distance, the wet runners will be so far ahead of the drivers on slicks.
Saying that, Henry, I'm not sure if the rain is stopping. I think it is very light rain. If I can see ever so slightly, yeah, we are getting more rain onto the commentary box.
Well,
being blown our way, so it is also windy. Conditions are staying tricky, so it will definitely be wet as the right decision, as the rain is going to continue to fall. Green flag is out, and we will see our senior Rotax very soon. Let's take a look at the grid then. Freddie Lloyd on pole position with Jack Lilly. Albie Lapper and Lloyd Hare on the second row of the grid. Sharing the third row is Joshua Turnbull and George Holbrook. And your top 8 will be Joshua Graham and Harry Freeman.
And to a man and woman, I think all drivers are on slick tyres. Joey Brown, Liam Hartley, Adam Wooden, Matteo Palazzo, just outside the top 12. We already had one driver spin. That was Kai Newman. Again, that's 2 spins on 2 rolling laps for Kai. And I'm not sure, certainly, everyone in the top 20, 25, like those on your screen now, are on slick tyres.
James Tester, the reigning PFI Club champion, hasn't had the best day so far, starting down in 25th. But we will see what he's able to do in these conditions in the final here at PFI. Here are your top 32.
I mean, if I was one of the B final qualifiers, like these 4, Victor Hansen, Kai Newman, Ruben Kernahan and Joshua Smith, why not chuck a set of used wets on? And I think, is that one kart with wet tyres on? About 5 karts from the back. Not Josh Smith. There might be one, but we'll soon find out. But Keogh Lynch,
well,
after a sterling day, and again, my sincerest apologies, but hey, you're going to be better prepared than ever. Now, for the big dance.
Well, let's
bring us to the line.
go.
Take us home.
Here we go then, Henry. Your final heat of the day, which has come ever so soon for you. Your drive is coming down now, and it is going to be a false start.
And I'm just checking. Was there...
That is car number 399.
I think number 57 is on wets.
That's Jack Lilly, who was meant to start on the front row of the grid.
Oh my goodness me, the outside front row starter. Mechanical issue. Jack
that is a shame
Lilly
for him.
stomps away.
Gloves off in the rain already.
Now, have a look back. Jacob Grun. Jacob Grun starting, well, he is 36, 35, 34, 31, 29th. I think he's got wets on. And if he has, well, I'm just trying to see, he's going to come through this camera shot now. No, I think that's slick tyres, actually. I think that's slick. They just looked a bit thinner. They looked a bit wetty. Not a slicky. I think that's a word.
We will see, Henry. It's going to be pretty obvious, the drivers on each tyre, as it is getting wetter and wetter out there on the circuit. As you can see, the considerable amount of rainfall on our camera. There is your pole sitter, car number 67, Freddie Lloyd. Jack Lilly no longer in this race, so it will be Albie Lapper and Lloyd Hare.
That's
line
big
up just
news
behind.
for Albie Lapper.
Yes.
Big news. In fact, well, Lily's a strawberry racing kart. Lapper strawberry. At this point, if they get the start this time around, wet tyres, I think, would have been the way to go. But if they do any more rolling laps, the track is improving. It's a moot point. Let's see. We'll find out.
All right, well, let's see. And that will be the start. Let's see. Your pole sitter, Freddie Lloyd, leads into
Hold
turn
your
one.
breath.
We've
Oh.
got...
Well, a load of them went off on the grass, but only one actually rotated. And, they're going wide in the bowl as well.
But they will be rejoining the circuit. Some more grass routes there at the back of the pack. But again, back on the tarmac, there is the straggler that we have. We have slippery surface flags out, all on track. But your leader, Freddie Lloyd, is not letting this affect his race. He has got a good gap so far. Who is that charges down the outside a second, but is going to run wide? So we are going to have
Pick a line, any
crazy. Okay, that is a staggered start around that hairpin for most of the grid then. Down hairpin 2 they will go similar. There is some very different wide lines
They're
going
five
on.
wide. 5 wide. That's insane. I mean, so they're all on slicks. Oh, there is the third place. Right, that was KR Sport Car of Joshua Graham running wide. This is going to be torturous.
Is that right? That is car number 155, is it? Is he?
That is Brandon Truman.
Who is now in the lead of the race?
Uncle Tyrone himself, Brandon Truman. So we asked the question, can he win this race on wet tyres?
Who we will see
Of course
it.
he can.
It's going to be a good start for him anyway, and these conditions will be ideal for obviously his tyre. Freddie Lloyd then down into that car number 67, down into second place, which isn't a surprise if he is then on slicks. Joshua Graham and Jack Lilly round out the top 4 then. Okay.
A spinner. That was just 2 karts, the trajectory, both on slicks. Oh, this is going to be so... Look at the different lines they're all taking. Someone just trying to scramble for some grip, but Truman has got this one in the bag, under wraps.
That was a good call from the DHR team then, as Truman runs away with the lead so far, and as the track conditions stay like this will be what we will expect from him. This race we have some more carts off the track. That was car number 11. Who is that? That is Reese Bailey, who was up a few positions already, unfortunately. Victor Hansen has come up 23 positions. Could he be also on wet so far this race?
From the B final.
That car number 21, who is currently running in 10th.
Well, let's look at Truman. Let's look what he's doing. He's using so much steering input. Yellow flags behind them. That is the difference. Brandon Truman is going to be 10 seconds in front of the rest at the end of lap 2. Simply by gambling the right way. 1 minute 19.9 for Truman. 5 seconds quicker than Freddie Lloyd. So, Lloyd... And we'll try and see. So, who else could be on?
Joshua Smith up 29 places, now running in 7th. Could he be on wets also?
I
That's
think
Victor
he might be.
Hansen too. See, these are the drivers that are going to be sticking out now. If these track conditions stay the same, there will be an obvious switch between wets and slicks, of course. Drivers like Harrison Crowther, though, is up 5 positions, currently running in P4. What tyre do we think he is on?
Yellow flag waving at hairpin number 1. Oh, somebody has gone into the barriers on the outside of the corner and has obviously emerged and carried on, but the barriers have been displaced as chopping and changing and reversing one of the Craft Motorsport carts into the barriers. Now, let's pick up the action on screen. There is Joshua Smith, and we're going to see in glorious technicolor the difference between wet tyres and slick tyres. Smith on wets, you can just point the nose anywhere. There is the David Mitchell's kart. Pushing, going backwards. So yeah, Smith on wets.
We do have another straggler there. That is car number 119. Who is that? Who will be going around at the back? Obviously had
that was the aforementioned Mr. Mitchell.
Yes, that is David Mitchell, who has obviously had a problem over at hairpin 1. But the grid is considerably spread out now. Freddie Lloyd is 8 seconds behind your leader, Brandon Truman, who is considerably faster than most drivers out on track. Joshua Smith, who is obviously on wets, also up 31 positions this race, and he is now running in 5th. Victor Hansen, who I believe was a B finalist.
He did, he won the B final.
In 27th, now up
Well, here
27
he is, there
positions.
he is. The 3rd kart in line, the Zip Factory kart, from
There
the B
you go.
final to the podium. I think so.
Straight
if
through.
if things stay as they are in terms of track conditions, 5 minutes, and we're going to have 2 of the B finalists on the overall podium.
See, these conditions really even out the playing field, and it is all down to team call in the end. It's the team's tyre calls. Brandon Truman with the DHR team will be thrilled with their decision as he sets another fastest lap of the race.
And here comes Harrison Paul.
Ooh.
And, I mean, there was 2 karts sliding to the apex. There was a little bit of pod-to-pod action. But all's fair in love and war. Graham will be a little bit upset with that, possibly. But Harrison Crowther currently in the 3rd position. And, of course, this is pretty much a moot point because they're not going to be 3rd for much longer. In fact, no, they're not already.
Yeah.
Joshua Smith and Victor Hansen have gone through. Freddie Lloyd is now Class B leader. Those on slick tyres.
By a considerable amount, to be fair. By
3
about-
seconds.
Yes, exactly that. But Brandon Truman leads. Joshua Smith and Victor Hansen, your 3 drivers that are on wets. Let's have a look.
Yeah, in fact, Smith has just gone past Hansen on the rundown, but we're looking at the bowl, and you can see the track is getting wetter and wetter. Here is now your fight. Ooh, yellow flags! Oh, you've got to be so careful. This is the number 83 kart of Leon Hasty. Last
Ooh.
year's
Who is that just behind him that runs wide there into the S's?
Matteo Palazzo is the
Ooh.
KR Sport car behind Hasty. Here is the battle for 2nd place. Smith in the 15, Hansen in the 21, and just look how much confidence they've got compared to all the other drivers who are just tiptoeing and praying that the next time they touch the steering wheel, the kart doesn't spear off into the barriers. Whereas these 2, yeah, they can be so aggressive.
Absolutely, but here they go over the line once again and through up into the bowl. Brandon Truman leads, Victor Hansen and Smith. Freddie Lloyd is then, like you say, your highest driver on slicks right now. Harrison Crowther charging through the pack in 5th.
And this is quite important. And, you know, Freddie Lloyd is 3 seconds quicker at the moment in front of everybody else on the same tyre compound as him. That has got to be seen as a victory within itself. And there is the Jack Dex racing kart of Declan Luff making a move. But, yeah, Freddie Lloyd has got to be positive. On everyone else on the slick tyres, Freddie was up the road from them all. And, of course, Brandon Truman, he's miles in front because he didn't have to come from row 79 of the grid.
Exactly that. Here is your leader coming round now all by himself. He's got a 12-second gap right now. Well, nearer to 13-second gap right now. There is your leader in the DHR car. He has 2 minutes to go plus a lap. I mean, it's looking like it's going to be a pretty steady race for him as he heads into turn 1 once again and up towards the bowl. It is clean air on both sides for Brandon Truman.
And here comes Hansen, who has now got a little bit of a separation between himself and Joshua Smith. And just looking still, the wet tyre drivers are 5 seconds a lap faster than everybody else. 90 seconds to go. 90 nerve-wracking seconds for Brandon Truman because he's going to tiptoe. He is absolutely tiptoeing around now because, yes, those wet tyres, even in damp conditions, they're not going to last forever. And he has given them some abuse. Up towards the Fullerton S's.
Absolutely still looking confident is Brandon Truman, although Victor Hansen has just set a fast lap. He has done an 18.8 on those wet tyres, up 31 places right from the back of this grid, obviously contending now for a podium, which it will look like Joshua Smith will now. He could contend for a second, could he? But your man in first, Brandon Truman, is off with the lead in that DHR car number 155. Here he is once again.
Fair play to Brandon Truman's mechanic. It's an obvious choice for Victor Hansen and Josh Smith. Yeah, you're starting at the back, so why not gamble? Why not do what everybody else isn't doing? But Truman, who was starting in the top 10, he had more to lose than gain, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Oh, and Harrison Paul and Albie Lapper. There was an Albie Lapper side by side in the strawberry. Right, yes, the 397. This is for second in class, fourth overall. And now they're 3 wide, and here comes Jack Lilly in the number 399 cart. So Lilly passes them both. This is happening. Well, this is 5th, 6th and 7th, and it's 33 seconds behind this driver, Brandon Truman, who is lapping people left, right and centre. The clock has struck 0. What a day, what a day, what a day. Keogh Lynch, let's bring them home. One more time here at the home of British karting, into Cole's Racing battle. Oohs and ahs, but this man,
here
Brandon
we
Truman.
go. There is your leader. The clock has struck 0, so he'll be heading on to the final lap of the race right now. Over 10-second lead. Though Victor Hansen has set the fastest lap, he has no chance of catching that Brandon Truman, the DHR car, out in front. But to conclude that top 5 then, Freddie Lloyd has done a good job on those slicks to stay in that 4th position faster, much faster than any other driver out there that is on those slicks. Fastest lap, the last lap of this race, and Victor Hansen, Joshua Smith will be thrilled with their tyre choice, going straight through from the back.
Yeah, Freddie Lloyd has increased his Class B advantage to 6 seconds over Jack Lilly in 5th, and Brandon Truman has just lapped, trying to see, that was DeJourn Bennett. He's just gone and lapped, and DeJourn is running 27th. And remarkably, we've still got 30 drivers in the race. Jacob Grun has retired, so has George Holbrook, Lewis Merica, Oliver Walker, David Mitchell and Joey Brown. But there's not much more to say, Keogh. Oh, and a spin there behind the race leader, but this has been magnificent.
But there is your leader approaching the final few corners now, about to lap someone once again, but he is got a 9-second lead. Does he necessarily need to do that? He doesn't, but he will as he approaches the final few corners. Here is what looks like it's going to be your winner. Let's have a look. Brandon Truman approaches the main straight and the checkered flag once again. There you go, that is your winner. A brilliant tyre call from the Dan Holland Racing team and a great drive from Brandon Truman. Right from just inside that top 10, there is Victor Hansen, straight from that back of the grid. And Joshua Smith then heading his way. There you go, you see him in that bright yellow cart. Those 3 all on wet. What a drive from each of them, and tyre choices from their teams. Then we've got next we have to come through will be Freddie Lloyd, the first of the pack who are on slicks, that car number 67. What a job from him.
Well, enough of the 6-7-6-7. How about this? 7-3-7-3. Because 73 is the amount of positions combined that the podium finishers in this class have made up in that race. Brandon Truman at 9, Victor Hansen at 31, and Joshua Smith at 33. So 7-3, 7-3.
Henry always up there with the Gen Z
Well,
sayings,
you know,
shall we say. But here we go. Drivers still crossing that checkered. The conditions heavily spreading them out. That's James Tester, also on slicks, who managed to come up through the pack ever so slightly, finishing P16. That is not where we usually see him here at PFI. Mac McGlivery then, just in 17th, and just inside that top 20 will be Ollie Goodyear and Charlie King. Ruben Kiernan managed to come up 14 positions just to finish just outside that top 20, but unfortunately it wasn't quite enough. Lloyd Hare then had a not a very good final. That car number 341, who is down 19th positions, will finish just inside that top 25. But Brandon Truman, Victor Hansen and Joshua Smith did not disappoint with that final. The very good tyre call from the teams to finish out our day.
So you've got to feel sorry for Ruben Kernhan just a little bit, because if you come from the B final and you say, well, after the B final, you're going to pick up 14 places in the main event, you think to yourself, well, that's me, the best of the B final finishers. No. Third of the B final qualifiers.
Absolutely.
Because the other two of the others, and sadly, the Just looking at, I'm trying to think who the fourth B final qualifier was, but the screen has changed, and back to the pit lanes, the paddock, come the drivers for the final time here today. Well, Keol, you have learnt on the job a lot quicker than expected, thanks to me today. So, we'll now learn how to send us home from the 5th SlipStream powered by Alpha Live broadcast. And it's certainly going to be a memorable one.
Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in to another SlipStream Live powered by Alpha Live Productions. You are listening to the members only part, so thank you very much for joining. And is that it for the day?
I think so. I mean, what a quick day. 29 races, gone in a flash. Thank you to all the SlipStream members. Thank you to the Trent Valley Kart Club, marshals, medics, support staff, and circuit team. Without you, nobody would go racing. And on behalf of me, thank you, Keol, for doing a shift and excelling. And I cannot wait to see you in action at the British Kart Championships. Is that in 2 weeks' time?
In a few weeks' time. It is
Well,
very soon, sooner than expected, Henry. But myself, Keol Lynch, and Henry Baudet hope to see you soon from the commentary box. Thank you.